Dragon here on the call here as Tippecanoe Valley and Glenn here on this game of broadcast for you. We will have the Chesterton and Lake Central game when it comes out. As right now we have the softball game for John Glenn out there in Tippecanoe Valley. As we will have updates throughout the games in the region here. As you
Good
at
evening, ladies
home
and gentlemen, and welcome to Vikings
here
Stadium
on
here
the
at Tippecanoe
game
Valley High School.
will be
Tonight's
held by our
conference matchup
commentating
between
partner,
John Glenn
Dusty
Lady Vikings and
Carrasco,
your own
at
Tippecanoe
any
Valley
second
Lady
here.
Vikings. He will go over the batting lineup first off for the Falcons. And first he is at shortstop number 14, Addison Mannering. And second, she's at second base number 6, Sophia Lizzie. And first base number 18, Peyton Thomas. And fourth out of left field number 2, Kira Beadway. And fifth is out of center field number 7, Mia Wilton. And sixth is out of first base number 4, Taylor Jackson. And seventh number 20, McKinley Flott. Batting eight number 17, Emma Thomas. Batting ninth is out of right field number 12, Addie McGillsky. And catcher number 11 is Roy Winslow. The head coach of the Lady Falcons is Brian Wiskowski. And now the batting lineup for your own Lady Vikings. Batting first, she's out of third base number 10, Mulaney Costello. Batting second, she's out of shortstop number 28, Casey Shriver. Batting third, the pitcher number 23, Dalen Bunkers. Batting fourth, the catcher number 21, Caitlin Freckle. Batting step out of center field number 9, Caitlin Mann. Batting sixth, she's out of left field number 6, Temperance Cottle. Batting seventh, she's out of right field number 22, Mackenzie Morton. Batting eighth, the shortstop number 2, Gabby Gonzalez. And batting ninth out of first base number 1, Linda Schreiber. Head coach of the Lady Vikings is Brian Barger. Now, if you are able, please rise and remove your hats. We order for the playing of our national anthem.
Dusty, can you hear me? Dusty, can you hear me okay? Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be watching these games as they come in. So, right now, we have our Falcons playing against Tippecanoe Valley right now here on the game. And then later, hopefully, we have video of Lake Central and Chesterton to switch over. Same with New Prairie. So we'll go into it max prep wise, and we go into the game here since Game Changer against the new podcast, The Game, as we go. And therefore, you guys at home, trying to get to every game possible here on Regan's Power Sports Network. Dusty, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, could be a good game here in Tippecanoe Valley. Like I think both these teams are pretty good in their own right, and yeah, hoping for a good one on this field today.
Absolutely, as we'll go back and forth between this game and two others, hopefully, as soon as we get that video up for Chesterton and Lake Central as well. And we're also going to hit on New Prairie and South Bend Riley as well. But like you said, it should be a pretty good game today as both teams come in ranked on our records here as we go. As Glenn comes in the 18th and Tippecanoe comes in 24th. As we usually have the counts there for you, but we're going to do our best to kind of get into those counts as well as we see them. As the pitch goes here, as Mannery takes, folks, takes there as we go there, Dusty.
Yeah, Josh, it's a good battle right here. Really good pitch to start off with, and yeah, gonna really have to go after this batter right here.
Absolutely, there's a strike there. Mannery. 2 strikes, 0 balls there to Mannery as we go into it. Strike there as we go.
Yeah, Josh, just a good inside pitch there, able to catch the inside corner, and yeah, that's what she's gonna really need to do here today against this John Glenn offensive team, because yeah, I mean there is some hitters here in this Falcons lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice little lineup there as we go. We called their game last week. Just the freshman pitcher just kind of had a little bit of an off kind of day, a little bit there. Where usually she's balling, shot calling. But today we're gonna see how this lineup bounces back into a very good team in Tippecanoe Valley.
Let's go, battle.
There's a strike there as we go.
Let's go, fire it.
As a drop third goes the Vikings way there as we go.
Yeah, Josh, and Vikings pitcher starting off pretty strong here, as might have missed a pitch there, but was luckily able to get the out on that one. But yeah, Josh, about the quality, I think it's a little bit choppy, but I mean, I guess not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little choppy as it's a secondary as we're at home here broadcasting this game. We're looking off of the game changers that both teams are providing for us here at Regan's Corner and at you guys at home. And that's going to end the inning there for the Falcons there.
Yeah, Josh, a really good cleanup inning there for the Vikings pitcher, and yeah, we will be back after this half inning.
Welcome back here, folks, as we go. As the stream ended there on John Glenn's end, as we look and see, because the internet around here in this northern part, as the storm gets hit there, just across the state there, it's going to be very in and out for today, so we apologize. That's why we're going to multiple games today. So we'll start off here as we go into second.
Yeah, Josh, and for the folks at home, I mean, they're probably wondering where the ads went.
The ads, we have switched different to a different software, so we just have not put them in currently. But we thank Tolman Financial and all the different ads and Freeman Associates and everyone at home for advertising Regan's Corner. As we're looking at different possible games right now to show you guys at home in this early hour of as another game around the Penn and Adams, or John Adams, are a 1-1 here in the top of the first. We'll get you going to there as well, as we're going to go to Knox, the Lady Redskins, and Jimtown. We saw Jimtown the other day here as we go, as it's already 1-0 Jimtown at Knox. As the Redskins there. Jimtown came in with a big-time lineup here. As a strikeout there as we go, as Barnes puts her away on that one, as Gillespie stands in here. As we jump to the Jimtown and Knox game, if you're watching here, as we're going to jump back and forth there, Dusty, as we're going to get old Dusty Carrasco a little bit of work on the multi-screen there for his future there in broadcasting. What's your thoughts on that, Dusty?
Yeah, Josh. You know, it could be could turn out to be a really good idea. As yeah, now we have Knox and Jimtown here. Yeah, I mean, those pitchers really throwing some heat here, as just blows that one right by the batter, and trying to get out of this inning without any damage.
Absolutely, trying to get out of this damage with 2 strikes and 2 outs here, as Barnes trying to deal a little bit more after giving up a run already here as we go. A home run by Giller. She was an absolute beast against John Glenn. As Gillespie going to be out here, as that's going to be caught by the center fielder. Nope. As that's going to be a double there for Gillespie. Excuse me, folks, as we go. The runners in the corner. Money position here as we go. As that dropped in there for a double for Gillespie here in the early hours of the game here on Regan's Corner Sports Network.
Yeah, Josh. I mean that should have been caught for sure as a foul ball here. I mean, you know, it was kind of a duck just sitting there, and I think it was a miscommunication there in the outfield.
I think so too. There as we go, and runners in scoring position to a team like this, you can't let a miscue there, as that's going to be an out there as Barnes gets out of trouble there.
Yeah, really good pitch there to cause the pop up, and yeah, I mean, Josh, you know, there was runners on second and third, so able to get out of trouble and get out of the half an inning.
Absolutely. As we'll go back to the Glenn game here, as the video comes back on for us to go to there, as we go into our days of watching here on Game Changer. As we go back into the thick of things over in Tippecanoe Valley.
That's about number 7, Neil Wilson.
As Mia, one standout freshman there, as she's been outstanding for the Falcons in the first part of the year. That one messes up the camera a little bit there off that foul ball there. They don't want to get too much into that net so the camera gets broke, but they also want to have that footage that we usually have there for you guys at home. But yeah, so 0-0 game here early.
Yeah, Josh, and a really good pitch right there. I mean, able to foul the first one, but not able to really catch up to that one. And yeah, I mean, that was just a good pitch on the inside corner, and now there's 2 strikes here on the batter.
Absolutely. As we go into things here, I mean, Ben's done a very good job of kind of looking and getting out there. It's just like they had trouble with Jimtown. It's the clutch hits. They're making contact. They're getting good at bats going. Let's see how they can kind of keep growing as a young team.
Yeah, Josh was a really good pitcher, or a really good pitch to get the last batter, and yeah, I mean, you said it. I think getting into a rhythm here, I think can really be beneficial for this Tippecanoe Valley team.
Absolutely. As a strike there as we go. As we're looking and seeing what games are available for us, we're not seeing too many here as we go into it.
Let's go, Battle, stay fast.
As the information here, as there's a lot of games that were changed on our schedule. Is that one just a bit outside?
Yeah, Josh, in the 3-1 count, I mean, kind of missed pretty bad there to create the walk, and now, I mean, with a runner on, John Glenn can really do some damage here.
Yeah, I mean, John Glenn is looking to do anything they can possibly to get runs on the scoreboard here as it's going in and out here. Has a strike there.
Drive it, 21.
As that one freezes up there as we go. It's just a little inside there on the stream. As I'm refreshing the video here, looking as Platts was a very good hitter there against our Jimtown in our game. As that one swinging and miss. We'll go into it here.
Yeah, Josh, and I think it's just, a bit of an internet problem here in Tippecanoe Valley. As, it's kind of going in and out.
Absolutely. As we'll switch back over to Knox there as we go into the early stages here as I wait and look and see when the other game starts, um, as buses and all that make a huge factor, and plus the internet's portion of the games as well, the fields and everything like that here at the game, as we're first time we're ever doing this. So we're trying to figure out a little bit of who's broadcasting, who's not here on Game Changer. So we were kind of going through the things as we go through it here as Knox and Jimtown here. As that's going to be a double as we pick up here at the Jimtown and Knox here on the game as we go. There, Dusty.
Yeah, Josh, really good shot there in the gap. Able to find a hole there and create a 1-0 ball game here. I mean, just a really good piece of hitting there to get the. Yeah, I guess it's the second run of the ball game, tied it up.
Absolutely tied up here as we go into it, as Cheryl Barnes on here as we go. Excuse me, as number 10 here. As I'm a little behind here on the Game Changer, as they are as well. As we go 1-1. As Sheared, number 19 here, takes there. As a 1-1 count here with 11 pitches by Carlson. We saw how much dominant she was there against Glenn. She kind of has an off speed. She has a lot of drop and a lot of rise pitches that she likes to go into it. Maybe a little bit of a screwball as well. Young sophomore. As that one fouls back, shakes the camera a little bit here and Knox. As that's going to be a 1-2 count here. As we are also the home of the Northern Indiana State Conference here, a conference game, and that's going to be a pop out there as Shear pops out, as Barnes most likely coming up now as a 1-1 here with a double on the previous at bats. Here, Dusty.
Yeah, Josh, but still a runner in scoring position here for Knox as they try to take the lead here.
Absolutely. As a person on second there, she was taking a little bit off there as we go, trying to get another bag there as Barnes takes.
Here we go, 2-6.
As a base hit up the middle there for Barnes as we go. But that's going to be a base hit there, an RBI.
Yeah, Josh is a hit right up the gut and able to drive the runner in. I mean, Knox came into this inning trailing, but now they have the lead. And that's 2-1 with a runner on first.
As the Cougar cam comes kind of up here as we go into it, we're still waiting on Crown Point and Portage to let us do the game there as we go. But nonetheless, we're going 1-2 here. That's going to be a foul ball there. Here are Knox as a 2-1 count. As Burlington, number 4 there, trying to get an RBI as a 1-1. What's your thoughts so far, Dusty?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, it was a pretty good pitch there. Able to foul it off, and yeah, I mean, these Knox hitters, just trying to stay alive and keep the inning alive.
Absolutely. As we refresh here, Knox, number 4, goes yard, and Knox is now up 4-1 there as we go after the home run by Burlington. Sorry, folks, as we go into it, as we were buffering a little bit on our end.
Yeah, Josh, and we're trying to keep the stream alive as yeah, I mean, I guess it's gonna happen, right? There's gonna be streams going down and stuff, but yeah, it was a home run nevertheless. 2-run shot, and yeah, I mean, 4-1 here for Knox, and I think their home crowd is kind of feeling pretty great about this one.
Absolutely, they're probably very pumped up here as Carlson's been good all year long, and then get 4 quick runs up on her. That's a good omen for Knox there as we go 1-4 ball game and a 2-0 here as we, after this half inning, we'll jump into New Prairie land there as the stream is up by Sean Bishop as we go. And that's going to be right there as well there as we go. What's your thoughts on the Cougars here after a slow start there as we jump in after this half inning in New Prairie? Okay, let's go jump in.
I mean, we're still here with Knox, and with the 4-1 lead, I think Knox is kind of cruising a little bit. But Jimtown could jump back on them, here in the next half inning. So Knox gonna really have to keep the foot on the gas and keep the pressure on.
Absolutely, there's 23 pitches there for Carlson. I don't know how many of the factor that is with softball because you're going natural motion. Baseball, that'd be a huge factor here in the first because you do have a pitch limit. You do have a kind of a count limit. I don't know how many pitches is limit
Yeah,
for
Josh.
softball.
Usually in softball, they can really go a whole game if they really need to, if they really want to. Because yeah, I mean, like you said, it's under throwing motion instead of overthrowing. So yeah, I mean they can really go a full ball game, if the ace needs to.
Absolutely. As again, it buffers a little bit here, so we apologize for you guys at home. And that's going to swing and a miss as that half inning is over as we're going to jump into New Prairie and South Bend St. Joe. No, South Bend Riley here as we go into it. As we jump into action here, the Cougars here as that one is wild as we go into the thick of things here as Sully Crest on the mound, as two already on there for the Wildcats here. We'll do the live game on Thursday of this week and Friday, where it looks more traditional of our broadcast capability there as we go. But we decided to take a little break from the live actual game there as we go and do a multitask
Entering the batter's
game
box, the center
cast
fielder, number
here the
one,
next 2 days
Nolan
here, Dusty, as we go. But the Cougars look like they're in a little bit of trouble there in New Carlisle to start off the game.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, yeah, it's kind of I mean, I would say, it's all right. It's all right for now, for sure. But yeah, I think the benefit of it is that you can see more than one game, but I think just the buffering is gonna be a little bit of a one of those things where it's like, well, missed the home run there, and then you gotta, but yeah, I think for these 2 days, I think we could definitely work with it.
Absolutely. As that's going to be a strike there as we go into it. As Sully Crest is at 17 pitches already here as we go. 2 outs and 2 on here so far for you guys at home. And a strike there as well.
Yeah, Josh. I
As
mean, Sully Crest just kind of going after the batter there, just painting that outside corner and really, taking it to him. And I
Now
mean,
batting for the
runners on
Wildcats,
first and
third baseman
second,
number
that is
19,
a
Riley Curran.
crucial pitch, and he hit it.
absolutely. A strike there as we go.
Yeah, already getting ahead of this batter here, and yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, with the runners on, and Crest is doing a really good job as we have a throwback there. Oh my,
Absolutely. As
and we
Crest
got
gets
him.
out of that inning, that Houdini act, we'll jump into another game pretty soon here as we go on Regan's Corner Sports Network, or sponsored by Tolman Financial and Freeman Associates. We'll have the ads back up tomorrow
And
here,
now the starting lineup for your New Prairie
but
Cougars.
we'll go into it
Batting
there as
first,
we
playing
go,
shortstop number
as we'll listen to
one,
the PA
Jagger
announcer for a second.
Daniels. Batting second and catching number 3, Reed Robinson. Batting third and pitching number 13, Sully Crest. Batting fourth, playing right field, number 2, Dylan Bishop. Batting fifth, playing first base, number 20, Colton Griffiths. Batting sixth, playing second base, number 5, Connor Tidwell. Batting seventh, playing third base, number 19, Riley Masters. Batting eighth, playing left field, number 7, Coulter Smith. And batting ninth and playing center field, number 6, Riley Conley. The Cougars are managed by Mr. Mark Schellinger.
As we're back here on the multicast here, as we kind of saw the starting lineup there for the Cougars go into things there. What are some keys for New Prairie to get going here with the lineup? That's been kind of scuffling a little bit, but you still have marquee players like Robinson and Sully Crest. Griffiths has been outstanding this year, and right now we need Jagger to be a table setter here uh, as well. What are some keys for the Cougars to get going?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I think they're gonna really have to just really keep their eye on the ball. I mean, it's gonna be important to really let the pitches go that are not really close. And I mean, the pitches that are there, you're gonna have to really just hone in on them and send them, to the outfield, or just find a gap. And yeah, I mean they're just gonna have to really try to do some damage here to start off this ball game.
Absolutely, you are. I mean, uh, as Jagger stands in here as we go, you're in the bottom of the first on this game here as the first baseball game that we're going to be calling. And the bottom part of the hour here is that one fouled back there. That's most likely going to be in a neighbor's yard there in New Carlisle on Harry Bear Tolman Field as we go into the thick of things. As that's going to be, like you said there, Dusty, thankfully, we're only probably going to be doing this a couple times this year as we go. But that's going to be a strike there. So it gives us good practice on when we can get this technology really humming. Is that going to be right there as we go? And that's going to be trouble there as Jagger with the double there. Hey, we're going to move like Jagger on that one as we go. A little Maroon 5 playing there in the background as Jagger Daniels makes a double here for you guys at home. There, Dusty.
Yeah, it was a really good hit there. I mean, I said it. They needed to find the gaps, and they did right there. I mean, start off the inning with a double like that. I mean, that is definitely a momentum swing right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a momentum swing there, especially when you have Reed Robson, who's going to go. It's going back to back to back, as that's going to be trouble there, as that's going to be a run. Or a nice little home run there for Reeder as we go as a 2-run jack there for Reed Robinson to get it going here as we go as a little on that play there as a 2-0 there as we go into the swing of things there in this ball game. At you guys at home, and Dusty, did it buffer a little bit on that swing?
Yeah, it didn't. Luckily, didn't buffer on the home run, but buffered right after. But yeah, Josh, I mean, just a really sweet shot there to right field, able to get the 2-run shot and take the lead here in this one as we have a ground out there. It's for the first out of the inning.
Absolutely. As Dylan Bishop comes in there after the Sully Crest ground out.
Batting the right field, number 2, Dylan Bishop.
As the senior there. As that one's just a little high there as we go. Bishop takes. As we'll bring you the Lake Central and Chesterton game right after this half inning there in Lake Central. But right now we're kind of going through the think of things here in New Carlisle. Going back and forth here on Regan's Corner as that one is just inside a little bit there. As I'm looking off the phone there at many games around here on the region, as Penn's softball is beating John Adams 11-0 there, and as Andrean comes up there with 3-0 there against Highland, and the game we were just watching not too long ago, Jimtown and Knox 4-1 there as Bishop takes there. And Bishop with a walk there as a good walk. A good play appearance by Dylan as Griffiths stands in the
Now
batter's
batting,
box here.
first baseman, number 20, Colton Griffith.
Yeah, Josh, and I mean, that pitch just missed the outside corner, and I mean that is going to be a walk there. So yeah, I mean, New Prairie. I mean, they already got 2 runs, in this inning, but they're looking for more.
Absolutely. And the way this is going, it's better than what I thought it would be. I thought every pitch would buffer a little bit there, as knock on wood as we go, as this is somewhat watchable as we go. And that's going to be stole here, as that's going to be just a little wry on the throw. But I don't think it would have mattered there as we go with Bishop's speed, as that was very easy speed there as we go. As 2 balls there to Colton Griffiths. As he fires, and that one's just a bit inside, outside there is Colton. That ball is going to be caught there. No, that's going
Yeah,
to get.
Josh. I mean, that's just a shot up the middle. I mean, I think these New Prairie hitters are really getting on the ball, and just like that, it's 3-0 with that RBI.
Absolutely. And coming into this ball game, we thought it was going to be a 10 runner as we go, and we might get it here quickly, and then go into probably our game of the week with Chesterton and Lake Central there as we go into the thick of things. But nonetheless, as it is buffering here as we go.
Yeah, Josh. I think 10-0 ball game. They're in the 5th inning. I mean, yeah, that would be the ball game. So it definitely could happen the way this one's going.
Yeah,
Because yeah,
the way
New
they're
Prairie,
swinging.
they're one to be reckoned with for sure at 9-3.
Absolutely. As Tintwell takes there as we go, as the camera's shaking a little bit. We thank Sean Bishop for broadcasting it for the game changer for the boys as well. And in case if we're not there, we can stream it like this. So that's going to be a base hit there.
Yeah, Josh.
As
Yeah,
that,
another base hit to keep this
Now
inning
batting
going.
the cleaners, the third baseman, number
I
19,
mean, not really sure how
Ryan
many outs we have in the
Masters.
inning, but I mean, the way this is going, New Prairie is gonna, try to end this here in the first. I mean, we have to go 5 innings, but my goodness, 10-0 in the first, that would be a pretty insurmountable lead.
absolutely, as it is already 3-0 here. Do not pay attention to that scoreboard. As we go 3-0 here, and we refresh it as we go into the thick of things here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. We'll click on the click button here as we go into it, as Masters takes there. One out there, Dusty, and the folks at home wondering, watching the game here on this multi-cast called The Game as we go into it. As Masters grounds out here, moving the runners up the money position. You know what I'm saying? Runners on second and third here as an RBI paradise here for Coulter Smith, who's been scuffling a little bit of late. Uh, but the freshman here, or sophomore, has been very good
Now batting
throughout
the
the
left
beginning
fielder,
of
number
the year.
7, Colter Smith.
As Coulter stands in here, takes for ball one there as we go. As the camera, as the wind taking the camera. I know how that feels out in the outfield where you're doing the camera work, you're doing this, and the camera is just shaking a little bit because of the wind. And you just can't go against the wind because it's like a Bob Saget song. You know what I'm saying there, Dusty? As we go,
Yeah,
three
Josh,
balls.
I think we do have one out here in this inning, and I mean, it's with only one out still. New Prairie, they have some runners in scoring position, so they have a really good shot at just kind of busting this thing wide open here in the first.
Absolutely. As it's two outs here as we go into it, and a walk here as bases loaded with two outs here, and we're going here to the nine-hole hitter and Conley.
Now batting the center
Yeah,
fielder,
Josh,
number
and
six,
so I mean,
Riley
two outs.
Conley.
It's kind of a two-out rally going here for the Cougars, and I mean, bases loaded. It's it kind of feels like for South Bend Riley that it's kind of do or die here. I mean, you do not want this to get any worse than it already has.
Absolutely. As a strike there, find the inside corner there as Conley jumps out, thinking that was a ball, which it might have been the way it looked as we go. We only got this little view here to look at, but it looked like a strike there to me. It looked like it got on the inside part of there, and you know how I am with umpires. So for me to say it looked like a strike, it might be a strike. There, Dusty. And a swing and a miss as that is the half inning there as we go. And we're going to go into the next game. Dusty, you pick the next game we go into.
Give me the options.
We'll go Jimtown, Knox. We'll
Yeah.
go Lake Central, Chesterton. And we'll go back to Tippecanoe Valley and John Glenn.
So Lake Central Chesterton is started, or
Let's go see if it started here as we go into it.
yeah, because I mean that's the game of the week. I mean I think we want to be on time for that one. As yeah, I mean Chesterton has been on a heater, 11-3. They've been one of the best teams here in the state. As Lake Central 7-3. I mean, yeah, Josh, I think might be a really good matchup between the two.
Absolutely. As we're looking off of Lake Central's broadcast here, or Lake Central's uh, game changer here on the game of the week, as Chesterton is already damaging here with runners on all bases here. There, Dusty. As Bradford takes for ball two there as we go. 0-0 game here, two outs, two balls, one strike here on the count. Here on the game of the week. 19 pitches here for 14 in Lake Central. As Mike on the mound here as we go. As he takes a second there as we go into as Ryan.
Yeah, Josh, and with bases loaded here, I mean, they are in Lake Central, but I mean Chesterton, they're known to be able to convert, with runners on the base pass. So let's see if they can here.
Absolutely. And that's we just talked about that. And then a nice little play there by Barrett to get to home on the play as 1-0 Chesterton Trojans on the board here. And Dusty, since I want to rip another one from the Hawk here, you can put it on the board. Yep.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, yeah, I think that's more on the pitcher. I mean, you kind of throw a wild pitch there, and it just gets away from the catcher. Also, the catcher, not able to stop that ball. And yeah, I mean, Josh Lake Chesterton just able to get an easy run here. I mean, it's just a wild pitch that should have really never happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was very wild there as we go as already a mound visit here on the game as we go into it. Uh, like we talked about, the game of the week here as Chesterton versus Lake Central. We kind of saw the other games that we were going to call here as we go. We'll go back and forth to them later in the game, later on the broadcast, in our multi-screen different areas. But right now, when we're kind of just gelling here as Campbell looking to do some damage here in this kind of merged row of a lineup. Uh, Usually, this is kind of a big four matchup here in the Dueling, where Lake Central is one of the powers. Same with Chesterton. You'll usually have Crown Point, who's in a different class, and then you'll have Valparaiso's of the world, Lake Central's, and the Chestertons of the world in the class there as we go. Used to be Laporte back in the day with their 8 state championships, but
Yeah, Josh, and I mean, I think Lake Central and Chesterton. This is the game that everybody really wants to see. So I think the other games, maybe we can keep track of them and maybe catch the end of them. But yeah, this is going to be the game that our audience really wants to see here. So 1-0 Chesterton in this one.
absolutely. And it's probably going to buffer a little bit, so we apologize for that, folks. Again, but Glassman here on power hitter, as we kind of talked about last week when we were at Laporte, and that's going to be Drave. That's going. And that's going to be at least a double there. It might be a triple here as he's pushing, and that's going to be a 3-run double there for Glassman
Yeah, Josh,
as
I
the
think
glass man.
maybe a 3-run triple. Yeah, I mean, able to get all the way to third. I mean, yeah, Josh, a little bit choppy with the broadcast, but nevertheless able to drive in both runs. So, I mean, the wild pitch, either way, all three runners are going to score, and now it's 4-0. Or I believe it's 3-0, right, Josh? It was because
4
all three
nothing
runners.
there as we go because the Barrett pass ball, and then the triple there from the glass
Yeah,
man
but there was
as
only
we
two
go.
runners on base. It was the runners on second and third. It wasn't full
It was
bases loaded.
bases loaded. It was bases loaded because he walked
Oh,
um,
really?
Campbell. Yeah, walked Campbell, and
Oh
then
my God! So clear
Glassman
the
came up
bases once again.
as
Hmm.
Redman takes it there as we go as ball one there as we were looking off of the game and the game changer here. Um, Hence the name of the new multicast called
Yeah,
The
Josh, and how
Game.
about it? Bases clearing triple there for Chesterton, and we talked about a game of the week, but 4-0 already. I mean, Lake Central is gonna really have to do some digging there in their half of the inning, to get back in this one.
Absolutely. I mean, and we kind of talked about this where the original game was at Chesterton, and we kind of just did this promptu multiple cast because of all the different changes with the damage there, um, with the internet sources over here and stuff like that. Um, but as that's going to be an out here for Redmond, and that's going to end that half inning as 4-0 here on the game here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. And we'll go into the multi different screens here as well for you guys at home so we can kind of watch different games as we go by, um, especially with the buffering that we've already kind of seen. Uh, so
Yeah, Josh, this one's already 4-0. So I mean, it's it might, get more interesting here in a little bit, but as of right now, Chesterton might be in a route of a blowout here in Lake Central.
absolutely. I mean, Lake Central themselves, they'll have a pretty good lineup, but we have a pretty good pitcher there in Troy Barrett on the mound, the commit from Purdue as we go, the future Boilermaker looking to make some noise there as we go into it, as we're on
Yeah,
late.
Josh, and as you said, we could check out Tippecanoe Valley and John Glenn if you want to.
As we go into it. As we'll be back there for the Chesterton game, as we'll give you highlights and all that later tonight. But right now, we'll go into the Falcons game as well as we go into today.
Yeah, Josh, and
Multi.
I think there is some John Glenn fans here as well too. Giving our broad audience, kind of what they want is really what we're trying to do here on RCSPN.
Absolutely. As we go into the things here, as we go. So that one's foul back here. As we go into the game here, as we're trying to figure out what the score is currently here of the John Glenn and Tippecanoe Valley game, as this one's probably been the worst.
Yeah, I was about to say, Josh. I think this one, might be one that we might not be able to really hone in on or tune into because yeah, it's been buffering most of the ball game. So
Sure.
but as a foul ball there, I mean Tippecanoe Valley they've been able to put the bat on the ball, but I mean just kind of wonder what the score here is I think maybe Josh trying to find that here.
I am absolutely trying to find that. I have not been able to find that.
Oh my goodness! Holy cow! Yeah, I mean, as Josh is doing that, there's a really good play there by the first baseman. I mean, just a really good throw. But how about the stretch by the first baseman to get the first out of this inning?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because he's softer back here.
Yeah, and Josh, I think they're gonna talk about it. See if her foot was there on the bag. But I really don't think you could take that away from her. I think she barely had her foot on the bag, and that's going to be I believe the first out of the inning. If not, it might be the second. But either way, that's Sports Center top 10 right there. Yeah, for John Glenn.
Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. As we go into the dun there as we go, as New Prairie is still up only by 3 runs there, as Daniels with a double and pass ball there, as Reed Robinson at home is at the plate there after that home run with 2 balls and 0 strikes against them, as we go back into the Glen game here as we go into this broadcast, folks, because that's another pass ball there.
Yeah, Josh, it's really when the batters they get into a pitch and it hits the fence, and that is really why the quality kind of gets bad because yeah, it happened right there. So
Absolutely. And when you have that, it just doesn't,
it's
it's
kind of
not the
rough.
right thing.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
I mean, but it is what it is, and I've been there as a 4-0 ball game here with as we go into the multi-screen here in a second.
Yeah, Josh, and so no update on the score here is there's no way to get
No,
it.
not that I know of. I'm looking at Game Changer right now, and nobody's putting it together.
All right, yeah, we go into New Prairie as I mean, yeah, at the plate once again, and we were talking about it, New Prairie, really trying to get the run roll here today, and they just might there, Josh.
Yeah, they just absolutely might there as we go into the things here. Yeah, as we'll go dive into a little more of that game as well. And like I said, buffering both sides, both games, all of the games so far. On paper, this is a great idea, and on execution, we needed a couple more times under our belt to kind of get it going. But we've done this in a long time, so we just thought it would be something different, as that's going to
Yeah,
be
Josh, you try it a couple times, if it works out, then heck yeah, if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? And yeah, just going to try it out. New Prairie 5-0, and that is another run, I believe. Yep, that's gonna be another run here for the Cougars. He's trying for third, and he's in there, and yeah, gonna be with the stand-up triple there as the RBI there by the
absolutely
batter.
Sully Crest there. Sully putting it together there.
Yeah, and Sully
We
Crest, I
go
mean, he's been really good in this game on the mound, and now, kind of does it with his bat, saying, "Hey, I'm a two-way player here," and he really delivered there.
absolutely. You really did. As we go into the things here, as you can see, my color commentator Dusty Carrasco there is the Glen game as well here on the multi screen. Um, as we kind of figure out the different tools and the different things there to give you guys all the games possibly around the area that we can possibly give you at one
Yeah,
time.
Josh, and it was a shot there, but not able to keep that one fair. As I mean, it was probably over the trees, but just foul there to the left side.
Absolutely. As that ball is going to be trouble there for Riley as we go, as that's going to be a double, ground rule double there as we go, scoring one in.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, that was it was trouble from the start. I mean, I think they could have probably got to that ball, but it just was not able to. It drops, and with the runner at third, of course he's gonna score. And my goodness, just like that, Josh, it's a 6-0.
Absolutely. As we can see both games here as we go, I wish we had a score for the John Glenn and Tippecanoe Valley game, but we have the score for New Prairie and Riley there as we go into it. As we're probably going to switch that Glenn and Tippecanoe Valley game for probably Chesterton and Lake Central in a minute.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I think it could be a good battle between John Glenn and Tippecanoe Valley, but not being able to see the score on that game, I think is going to be really the reason why we can't, broadcast that game.
Absolutely. As we go back to Chesterton's still up 4-0 here as we go into the swing of things here in Lake Central as another fly out there for Chesterton as they are in their bottom order as Barrett takes control there in the top as we go into the swing of things.
Yeah, Josh. And I mean, I think on paper, these are two pretty good games right here. But I mean, New Prairie, at 9-3, they're just a really powerhouse of a team. So taking that 6-0 lead, and on the other side, it's really Chesterton, being the powerhouse that they are, and I believe it's 4-0 there in Lake Central.
It is. It is 4-0 there in Lake Central as we go. Excuse me, folks, as the scoreboard's just a little bit off there. It's 6-0 there in New Carlisle, and looking like the Cougars are going to do some damage, and then there in Lake Central, same with the Trojans there with 2 outs. Yeah, man, at maybe a 2-out rally there for yesterday. Actually, excuse me, 1-out rally as Sarnicki walks there at Sarnicki as we get into it. as Barrett or Chesterton, as both of our broad games are buffering as we're back here as we go.
Yeah, Josh, and I think my cam's a little distracting there, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn that off. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good matchup there in the top right corner. But top left corner is kind of a bud, and I mean, New Prairie, they came into this one with the mindset of kind of, just taking care of business, trying to, finish this off early, and yeah, I mean, they're really on their way of doing so.
Absolutely, they are. As we go into it, um, we kind of knew that was the case there, as we will be asking for AD for Riley there if we can do the game on Thursday after this switch of tonight as we go, because we were going to be at Chesterton and then we'll do the game Thursday at New Prairie in our consistent whatever, and then back to back games for said whatever. But things went here as we're the game here as we go into it. And we'll have different games for tomorrow, but we'll still have Chesterton as the main focus as this Lake Central game. It will be at Chesterton, so we'll go into both of these the best we can. But we apologize for the buffering for you guys at home, especially if you watch it back, well, if you're at the games as well. So hopefully, when you watch it back, it's not as buffering as we see right now.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, there in the upper left corner, it looks like a shot there to right center, but that one does not drop. But it's going to be a sacrifice fly, and I believe that's going to be an 8-0 ball game there for the Cougars.
Yeah, I mean, it's 7-0 so far here, but that was a shot. As that game is looking very like a 5 inning game there in New Carlisle as the Cougars keep on rolling in their conference there. Um,
Yeah, I guess they updated it as the runner was coming in, but yeah, we got a 7-0 ball game there for New Prairie, and yeah, I mean they're just kind of piling it on there. I mean, and here for Chesterton and Lake Central. Yeah, we got Chesterton here at the plate, and not sure how many outs, but yeah, I mean, with the 4-0 ball game, like you said, Lake Central could, convert some runs pretty easily. So you kind of want to build on that lead if you're Chesterton.
Absolutely. It's Chesterton right now. That Chesterton Lake Central game, it is 2 outs, 2 outs, and Eli McCullum up here as we go. 2-1 ball game.
Yeah, Josh, and
2-1 count.
yeah, Josh, talking about that game, I mean, Chesterton trying to do some more damage here, but it's New Prairie getting 2 more runs. I believe it was a shot to right center field that dropped, and that was a 2-run double to make it 9-0 New Prairie.
Absolutely. So we'll go back to Knox there for that top left there as we'll be back in New Carlisle after a while there as second inning already, 9 runs as the Cougars putting it on the Wildcats on the here on the game. As that one, Eli fouls that one right off there as we go into it.
Yeah, Josh,
Conley
really
there.
good pitch, and yeah, I mean, just getting a piece of that one, and so staying alive here is Chesterton here at the plate.
Absolutely. Eli has a little bit of a BG tune stuck in his head there as we go, as he's staying alive. Staying alive as we go into it. I got a little Michael Jackson fever there as we go, even though that was the Bee Gees tune as we go into today's game as we go into Jimtown and Knox on this side of the part as soon as I can get myself back into the video portion of the things uh, as Jimtown struggling over there. That's 1-5 there as we go, as the video cuts out. There in Jimtown and Knox as we go. But we'll go back into the swing of things there and in our game of the week broadcast as we go.
Yeah, Josh, and I mean, in that Knox Jimtown game, it was Knox kind of putting it on Jimtown a little bit early, and it's most likely more of that. If we're able to get a broadcast there. But yeah, in the other games, it's kind of Chesterton, leading Lake Central pretty good, and New Prairie leading the Wildcats pretty good as well. And then I mean, we really didn't know the score to Tippecanoe Valley and um who are they playing? John Glenn.
John Glenn there as we go into it. We don't because you guys got to put out the scores there if you want it on the game as we go. But in their offense, there, Dusty, this is a new thing. You were notified maybe 30 minutes before the game even tipped off, and I was kind of thinking of doing this maybe 2 hours before this game. I would kind of figure out what our plan is of attacking this situation as the bases are now loaded after this walk as I'll be Houdini in a second. There, 4-0 in this game as we go into the swing of things.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, that was a pretty good act there. I mean, if you're not a magician already, you should be as of right now, because yeah, that was a pretty good doing there. Is now bases loaded here for Chesterton, and Lake Central is really in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, they're really, really in trouble here as we go into it here in Lake Central. We'll be at the tournament on Saturday as normal for Chesterton. We'll do several different games, 2 games from the hill, 2 games from the press box. Um, but right now, when we're at here at the game here as we go, I have more Dusty throughout the years. Okay, this is kind of hard going through everything, broadcasting off of a screen when it's buffering like this. So I apologize for any yelling I had with you about the years because this is rough as this is a pitching change already here for the Indians as we go as this is going to be very interesting to see if the Indians can provide a quality starter here to kind of right the ship as Lake Central had a couple pitchers last year be drafted in an MLB draft. So to miss that talent this year and to have a program like Lake Central uh, with that big four, I mean, it just reloads, but you still miss a big hole when you have 2 or 3 starters who have been drafted to the MLB. That's Kirkland looking to send this ball out to Costco as we go. As the last pitch is there, as we go into the things, what's your thoughts there, Dusty?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I think Chesterton, they've really come into this game, trying to really put it to Lake Central, and they have been doing just that. I mean, it's been all Chesterton in this one. Bases loaded for the Trojans, and yeah, they really want to kind of end things early, just as New Prairie was trying to.
Yeah, I mean, New Prairie was trying to absolutely demolish the Wildcats there, and You can't blame them. I mean, with the schedule coming up, getting a little bit harder with the 2 Penn games coming up, I think we had Penn as high as 2nd or 3rd in our current rankings in that top 24 that we come out with every Sunday or every other Sunday there, Dusty.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, here, Chesterton, of course, bases loaded. Trying to get some more runs here, and I mean, this pitcher really not trying to give it to him, but here's a pitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, Josh. Don't know if you know the count there, but yeah, I mean, it's looking like it might be 2-2. Full count, something like that.
I will go back to the count here as we go to help you out there, old Dusty Rhodes, as we go into it.
Yeah, Josh, and it was two strikes. They're able to get the out and get out of the jam. My goodness. I mean, talk about pressure and really, getting out of a situation that was just, kind of bearing down on you and, just trying to, finish this game off.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we talked about how good this team is. Both teams coming in. Lake Central was ranked ahead of Chesterton, but right now that's looking like a huge, relatively close game. As Barrett on the mound for Central's first Insti stands in here as we go. There's Jacob, as that's going to be all there as we go, and Knox is up 6 runs there in Knox as we go. Is a 1-7 ball game there as Barrett on the mound there taking his warm up pitches for you guys at home as we go into our double feature of the broadcast as we go into multi screen here.
Yeah, Josh, got
But
the cam back on. I mean, said why not? But yeah, I'm pretty sure Knox is still leading that game as Knox was really knocking on the door to add some more runs. I think in a 2-1 ball game there at home, and yeah, so I think Jimtown really has their work cut out for them.
yeah, I mean, Jimtown was cooking against John Glenn at Walkerton, and now against Knox, it's not the same game as it's a 7-1 game there so far there in Redskin land as we go.
Oh my, yeah, 7-1. I mean, that's really what you want to see if you are a Knox fan. But on the other side, I mean, coming into this one, Jimtown, they knew that, this was gonna be a difficult matchup, and yeah, I mean, it's kind of shown here for Jimtown as down 1-7. They really gotta, get things going in this half inning.
Absolutely. As complete, I love seeing this multicast here as you see in Lake Central or Cherville, Indiana. Okay. Or St. John's, Indiana, you can see the clouds. Okay. In Knox, it is beautiful as the day can be, but in St. John, it is absolutely look like it's gonna storm.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I guess a really cloudy day there in Lake Central. But on the other side of things, there in Knox, it's just a really clear skies and a sunny day there in Knox. So yeah, I guess it's kind of night and day, right?
Absolutely. As you can see it. I just thought that was kind of fun. But at the same time, thinking about where the schools are located, it's on the other side of the state, pretty much. Which, and strikeout there on Knox's side as Barnes has been dealing. And then Troy Barrett as well has been dealing there on that Trojan side as we go into it. as we're going to be very close on switching to either on my pod or Dusty's, maybe putting the New Prairie game in that slot as well. But we will knock on wood because there's not been much buffering since we switched to the two cams.
Yeah, Josh, I think it was really just that Tippecanoe Valley and John Glenn game that was kind of giving us some trouble. Picture pretty good here in Knox. There in Lake Central, I mean, it's kind of so-so, but you can see most of the action, and yeah, it's been kind of a day of blowouts here, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a blowout kind of day here as we go. Um, as it's beautiful here in Union Mills too. I mean, but in Lake Central, it looks like the storm is about to come. It looks like it's about there as Barrett gets another out there as we go for the Trojans. And ground out there on the other side. There's 2 outs there as Brower takes strike 2 there looking. As we make that Chesterton game a full-blown back here. As that's by far the game of the week there as we go. As that's a swing and a miss. As that's a 4-0 game though here in the second inning. As Barrett looking to deal here as 2 strikes and a foul off there as Barrett fires. And he gone as we go into it as Troy Barrett strikes out Brower as we go into the top of the third here. Dusty.
Yeah, Josh, and I mean, it was a really good pitch there, able to blow it by him. I mean, it was kind of a rough going there for Lake Central, and it kind of continues as Troy Barrett on the mound, and he's just kind of dealing some type of cheese that these these Lake Central players are not familiar with.
No, I mean, as we go back into, we're going to go back into the New Prairie game on the top left, as it is now 15-0 over there in New Carlisle.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, 15-0. We kind of expected that, but yeah. I mean, there for the Wildcats, it's kind of that time where it's like, well, I mean, we kind of got to look to next game. We got to try to find some things that we can take into the next game, and yeah, try to build off of something positive here in this one.
Yeah, but you got to think about it. Next game is against these Cougars again on Thursday, and that's going to be more of our traditional broadcast as well, as this is going to be our Tuesday game of the broadcast, the multi-screen, most likely here in the middle part of the week. But with 15 runs across the board here, and the game is only in the third inning, these Cougars could go in the 20s. I mean, it could be that bad there as we go in New Carlisle, as we go back here in the game of the week.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, there in Carlisle, it's New Prairie, on pace for maybe 30 runs. I mean, this wouldn't put it past that New Prairie lineup. But, as I said, we come back to Lake Central with Chesterton, trying to do some more damage here as, 4-0. Let's see if the Trojans can put on some more.
Absolutely. Well, insurance runs there as we go. As that's going to be a ground out there. No, he does not scoop it there, folks, as we go. There is no scoop on the celly as we go. And an infield base hit.
Yeah, Josh, and I think that was one that you probably had to have. And I mean, Josh, Lake Central coming out 7-3. You kind of thought that they might put up a fight here, but it's been all Chesterton.
All Chesterton.
And yeah, Josh, I'm not sure if you're gonna get copyright, but I'm pretty sure this is a copyright song.
What song? I can't hear a song, man. I can't hear anything song wise.
Oh, okay, Josh. Well, maybe you want to turn off the what's it called? The music there, or the sound to the game, because yeah, there's music come from somewhere.
Oh, yep, that's on me. You think after owning a broadcast network as long as I have, I would shut down the music? Good call there from the Dusty Roads there as we go.
Yeah, Josh, but you still might get copy strike for this one. But I mean, yeah, I guess just be more aware of that in the future.
Absolutely, as this is more practice for tomorrow anyway, as we go into it, um, because we only have one viewer, but we like that one viewer as we go into it. And plus, we don't know who's going to watch it later today, as multiple people are at the game itself. So, anyway, let's go into it here as on multiple screens here on Regan's Corner as Chesterton gets Lake Central gets out of that inning as we go. Still 4-0 ball game there in Lake Central. Um, what's your thoughts there so far with the Chesterton Lake Central game?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, with the Chesterton, getting a runner there on first, kind of felt like they were gonna pile it on a little bit more. But I mean, yeah, I guess it was Lake Central coming back with three straight outs, and yeah, I mean, if Lake Central has any chance to, hang in on this one, it is going to be this half of the inning, and they're gonna have to muster up some runs.
Yeah, I mean they got it. Muster some runs up as we go into the wicket, the think of things as we go into the Cougar side of the things here. As Sully Crest has once again been very dominant for New Prairie. Do not check that scoreboard at all because it's over 15 runs at this point. As that's going to be a walk there is Sully. As I was talking him up too much there. The little announcer's jinx there for you folks at home as I'm refreshing it for you guys, you New Prairie fans. As I will take the volume back off here and go into the swing of things as 15-0 on the scoreboard there. Dusty, if Mr. you're Mr. Positive here, what positives can you take for Riley so they can kind of get into the swing of things as you
I mean, Josh,
for
you kind of
yes
have
sir.
positives when it's I mean, I would say maybe 5-0, 8-0. But when it gets to 15-0, and you kind of see the way the game's going, it's kind of like there's I mean, you like I said, you can take things into the next game, but for this game right here, Josh, yeah, this one's really done. You just you kind of just try to get through it, and I mean, as I said before, you try to take things into the next game, but yeah, that's really about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to be more positive. So when we broadcast that game Thursday, we get tons of views, our national broadcast. Uh, but honestly, you're right, my friend. There's not much for the Wildcats to take off and be like, hey, this is a good, maybe a couple bats here and there, but it's been a complete other butt whooping in New Carlisle as we go 15-0 here as we're watching on Game Changer here in our home studios live from Pittsburgh and Eden Mills, Indiana, as we go into it. As two of us are watching the games as we into it, as that one is a strike. No, that's a ball there as we go, folks, as we go into it. I'm used to the scoreboard as much as you guys at home. But Dusty, what's your thoughts about these Cougars?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, okay, we could talk about the Cougars. I mean, they're a really good team. Coming into this one, of course, 9-3. They have really put a show on here today, and they've kind of put a lot of teams on notice of how good of a baseball club they really are. And yeah, I mean, they've just really um, really just put on a show. I mean, they've done everything right in this game, and they're it's kind of crazy to think, but 15-0, and they're still trying to get more runs here in this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get more. They're trying to get more into it, and it's just at this point, it is self-explanatory on how good this lineup is.
Yeah, Josh, and I mean, you know, I mean, it's just there, written on paper. This team is really good, and like I said, they're trying to put other teams on notice. So I really don't blame them for trying to put some more runs on in this ball game, even though it's 15-0.
Absolutely, as that's going to be a ground out there as we go into the swing of things there as we go into it, as that's another out there for Sully as the runner moves up to second base there, as that's a positive for Riley as we were looking for it, um, and we're trying to find them, but there's a positive as the ground out there as we go moving up the runner, small ball baseball, but we'll go back into the Chesterton game there in St. John. As we go back here, as the Trojans out in the field, and as St. John or as Lake Central getting a little bit more action on the base path here as we go.
Yeah, Josh.
As
I mean, in that other ball game, 15-0, you kind of be like, okay, well, this one might be put away. We could probably check on it in on it, here and now. But in that situation, you try to go to a better ball game. But I mean, this one's 4-0, Josh. The other one's 7-1. I mean, and then of course Tippecanoe Valley and Knox, or at John Glenn, we do not have the score to that. So it's kind of one of those days there, Josh.
yeah, it's kind of those days. And we're going to look for different games tomorrow because we're going to be doing the same thing tomorrow here on Reading Score Sports Network. And we're going to do a better job of making it known that we're doing this multicast. Again, like I said, it was basically last second that we did this. As with strike there is 2 balls, 1 strike here as Barrett finds the strike zone on that one as O'Brien here at number 7. Uh, but we'll be back here again doing this multitask here as these Trojans take on these Indians at Chesterton tomorrow. Um, but we'll also have the Plymouth Wise game tomorrow too. And we'll kind of figure out different games that we'll do by the game changer as we go
Yeah, Josh
into.
has a throwback there, not able to get the runner. And here's a pitch. But yeah, Josh, I mean, we kind
That's
of.
a 2-2.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was going to say we kind of talk about these blowouts here, but if you're a Chesterton fan or a New Prairie fan, I mean, on the other side of things, you're like, wow, this is exactly what we want to see. But yeah, for Lake Central, you kind of really hope they can get something going here.
Yeah, and this game is really not a blowout. If you really think about it, 4-run game, Bear on the mound, it might seem like that because he's one of the better pitchers around. But if Lake Central can kind of get a couple hits going because they do have a great lineup. They've had some really good wins and they've had some really good losses this year. As that's going to be a strike three as he go, as Barrett puts them up and puts them down as we go into the bottom. And tomorrow, this is where we're going to have the ad break as we go back into
Yeah,
the
Josh.
multicast here. As we go.
Yeah, Josh, I kind of like your positivity there, but it's just all the momentum is there on Chesterton's side. I mean, you could give props to Troy Barrett all you want, but it's been the Chesterton lineup getting bases loaded almost every inning, and yeah, just they've really had all the pressure in that ball game, and it's just it feels like it's been on Chesterton in that one.
Yeah, I mean, Chesterton's ace there on the mound, and Troy Barrett. We can give him multiple, but there's been a lot of great hitters there putting in work for that Chesterton. It's going to be very hard to get the player of the game, but probably most likely you give it to Troy just because of the pitching performance that we're seeing out of him. Same with Sully on the other side, even though Reed has a home run and a couple RBIs already to his name. Uh, but we could do the ace of the staff there, and then the game of the day there, or the bear uh, over on this side, and then we'll do the play it again player of the game on this side in Chesterton as we go into things here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. As we go this multicast, as we're starting to get it to settle down a little bit, what's your thoughts as the games are starting to kind of more likely not buffer as we saw earlier in the top of the softball games that we were doing?
Yeah, Josh. So I mean, considering that, I mean, it's been really good. After that, I mean, it's it's not a bad way to broadcast these games. But yeah, like I said, we could just try these out and just if we like it, stick with it. If not, then we go back to Streamyard or wherever we were going, wherever we are at.
Absolutely. As we go back to Switcher, and we're probably going back to Switcher pretty soon, but maybe once a week, maybe do this multicast or kind of go through it where we can say, hey, we have these games and we've done these games on the network. So we can add different places like multiple games, like next week when there's senior night at Chesterton, and we have to cover that. And then the Four Winds game um, for New Prairie and Penn. Uh, but like how New Prairie is, Penn's at that different level, like Crown Point is. So we'll be at Chesterton live for the Crown Point game. So we already have an interview with Sean for you guys at home, airing on Sunday, one of the top catchers in the nation. But nonetheless, let's get back to the action there, as that looks like a signal for New Prairie there as we go. Trying to get more runs on that scoreboard as it's been an absolute blowout. And then on Chesterton's end, looks like a base hit by Sarnacki as we go into it. Moving runners at first and second here for Chesterton, with Barrett looking to do some damage here as Sanchez as this pitcher for Lake Central. So we go back in here to the Chesterton game as Barrett looks like he's 0 for 1 so far here, but has a couple runs that he's been on the base pass with a couple walks so far in this ball game here in the fourth. So he has played a huge part here in this game. Even on the offensive side, just hasn't got that hit yet, as that's going to be time there for Barrett. Barrett takes a second there as we go. Looks and fires. That one just a bit outside there. And Sanchez, he's kind of a submariner. We haven't seen a submariner all season long, but Sanchez is kind of like a little bit of a submariner. So 14 pitches here as we go. Ball one here. There's a bunt there. Attempt that he pulls back, and a hitter's count here to Troy. Troy can be as dangerous as Rob here as we go. Power to all fields. More of a gap to gap. More of a Nico Horner kind of player there, but he can have that pop. As that's going to be a bunt there, gone Rye. As we thought about this there, Dusty, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, Josh, and I think Chesterton has been just doing a really good job of getting runners on the bases. I mean, if you have a positive, here today with Lake Central, they have been able to strand a lot of runners, but on the other end, it's been a lot of Chesterton, as that is, I believe, another bunt throw to first. Not sure if he got him. I think he did.
He did, and Barrett does his job as runners in scoring position for Eli. As McCullum has been absolutely stellar here for the Trojans as we go into the swing of things here. Sanchez about to fire here as we go, and that's going to be an infield. That's going to be an RBI there as we go.
Yeah, Josh, just a really good piece of hitting there. As I guess, yeah, I think it was good piece of hitting, and I
So,
think he was a bad throw at first,
two
maybe
outs.
because the runner's still at second there, Josh.
Runners at second there as we go, and that's the second out of the inning there as a tag there by the first baseman, saving his shortstop spot there as we go into the thick of things here. And that ball is just a bit outside.
Yeah, sorry to the folks at home, just a little bit choppy, but bear with us as, of course, the game of the week, it is 5-0, but, you know, Lake Central could get back into this game at any point if they can
At
string
any point.
some hits together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Josh. On paper, 11-3 against 7-3, kind of expected to be a little more competitive, but that just shows how good Chesterton really is, and how good their pitcher is. I mean, you talk about Troy Barrett. I mean, the ace of the squad, and he has been just phenomenal here for Chesterton.
Phenomenal there. But a double there by, excuse me, folks, as I check who had a double there. As Hackett with a nice RBIs there as Caden. One of the names that we don't mention that often, but a great catcher there, and Caden Hackett with that double there, and it scores a run there, and now it's 5-0 ball game here in Chesterton.
Yeah, Josh.
As we refresh.
Not sure how many outs here, but runner on second is Chesterton, trying to do some more damage there. As yeah, I mean, already 5-0, but they would like some more insurance here.
Absolutely. As it's actually 6-0 there. Um, there on the scoreboard there, and a base hit there as we go back into the swing of things here.
Yeah,
Like
Josh.
Bradford.
I was just going to say, how many outs in the inning?
there is 2 outs, runners on the corners, and a 0 count so far here, according to Game Changer. As Bradford sets it here as Sanchez. Like you said earlier in this broadcast, when we're talking about Glenn and Tippecanoe Valley, every time the ball comes back into the net, it seems like the footage gets a little awry there as we go. Whoever's doing the camera gets a little scared.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we thank you, whoever's doing it, for Lake Central for allowing us to rebroadcast this game on YouTube and Facebook as we go, as that one's just a little bit outside.
Yeah, Josh, and I think it's more than just the ball getting hit into the fence because I mean it's kind of been choppy, this entire time we've been watching this. We're still able to see the game, which is probably the best situation we could get for this game. But yeah, I'm just saying, folks at home, bear with us. It's a little bit choppy, but we're I know you still want to see this game, even though it's 6-0. Lake Central's still a really good team, and yeah, it's still a really good matchup. Even though Chesterton is just that much better, Josh.
Yeah, they're just putting it to him as we go into it. As I refresh the game here as we go. And I'll do some research tomorrow, and we might have this game on Instagram as well, because we can link it up here on the restream, as long as I can find out what the keys are. And hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys at home, as that's going to be fouled back there. As Bradford staying alive there for the Chesterton Trojans. As we go, runners on the corners. Sanchez, first inning of work, he did a pretty good job coming in there. Now he's struggling a little bit as we go into it, as this Trojan team can kind of do that. We saw Laporte where they were very much sticklers there. Laporte looked like they had it, and then Chesterton came in, a couple great innings, and beat them by 5 runs as we go. That ball is going to be just a bit outside. Strike out there, as that's going to end that inning as we go with our thoughts there with Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah, Josh, and I think that was a really good pitch there, by Lake Central's pitcher, and I mean that's exactly what you wanted if you are the Indians, because yeah, I mean already with the 6-0 hole, you kind of needed to stop the bleeding a little bit and really try to get just a hit here in this inning to start off things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As I was looking off of the broadcast already here as we go into the swing of things.
Yeah, Josh, and if you want to, we can go
Okay.
back to Jimtown and Knox. I believe we haven't been there in a while.
At this point, the game might be over. But we'll go back into there as we go into the swing of things there. Knox here as we go into it, as Jimtown losing by 9 runs here so far here in as Knox has been dominating this game so far.
Yeah, Josh, 10 to 1 score line. Um, Not really sure, the records on these teams, but I mean, it kind of seems like Knox was most likely favored in this one. And yeah, with 10-1 ball game, I mean, they have been putting it to Jimtown.
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of a 50-50 game coming in. Knox can't come in with a really good record. Gemtown came in with a subpar, kind of better than average record, a 7-4, and Knox was similar on the year. So it was thought of in the Northern Indiana Northern State um, Conference that this might have been the game of the week on this side of the fence, but like you said, it was coming into today not a great one for John Jimtown there as we go.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, Knox definitely with a similar record. They might be a better record as well because, yeah, they've been really just kind of pounding Jimtown. I mean, 10-1 score line is nothing to sneeze at. And my goodness, I mean, this pitcher has been there from the start and he's been dealing.
Absolutely. As Barnes has been absolutely dealing here as we go. As we'll go into the Goshen and Plymouth game after this. We kind of go into Goshen as we go in there as well in a second. There's a strike there as we go.
Yeah, Josh, I
That's
mean,
going to be right.
yeah, Josh, I mean, you can't really get a break there as, gets contact on that one, but not able to find a gap. I mean, it's just all knocks in that one. I mean, they kind of have the upper hand as well as luck on their side, and I mean, yeah, just 10-1 ball game there, and you kind of taking care of business. And yeah, I guess we have Plymouth and Goshen here in 12-1. I mean, yeah, Josh, it's just a
Now
blowout
batting for
day. I mean,
Plymouth, number
I
8,
can't
Prairie
say it any
Runyon.
other way.
You
That's
can't
twelve to
say
one.
it any other way there, Dusty.
Mm.
But Goshen has a beautiful field there as we go in. We just don't go there that often because of the drive, but they have a beautiful field there as we go. It's the sun hitting the way there. The only cloudy time that we saw so far would be the Chesterton and Lake Central game, but like you said, it's just been a day of blowouts as
Yeah. Yeah, Josh, tomorrow might be, better, most likely. But yeah, just today it's been, I mean, kind of one-sided on, every single game. I mean, of course, if you're a fan of these teams that, have these leads, you're like, oh yeah, let's go. Like New Prairie, 15-0. You're pretty proud if you're a New Prairie players family member or fan. But yeah, it's been blowouts today.
it's been absolute blowouts today. But hit me up like Goshen with their game changer because the facility looks amazing and the field, even though it's a little choppy, you can see a little bit more of the action here as you see the sun kind of coming down there in Goshen, Indiana, as we go. As Lily running takes there as we go.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, you look at the color contrast, and yeah, I mean it's a really nice field here in Goshen, and Yeah, it's just we've had a couple nice fields here today, but I would say Goshen might take the cake.
Yeah, I mean, that turf field's just beautiful as we go. And that's going to be a foul back there as we had a little announcer's jinx on the buffing there as we go. But again, you can see a lot of the action on the play there with the game changer and all that. And we'll do some more research on the games coming up here. Um, but this might be the way to go, as that's going to be a triple there for Thomas for a couple more RBIs as Kite puts it up and puts it down for the Pilgrims.
Now batting for Plymouth, pitcher number 5, Gracie Patrick.
Yeah,
As
Josh. I mean,
Patrick stands in.
14-1. Yeah, it's just Plymouth kind of taking charge here and really just putting it on them.
Absolutely putting it on them as we go into it in the fourth inning here, as that one's most likely going to be a 10-run rule. We'll go into the next game here, which is back to the New Prairie game. As we go 16-0 here as we go into it, as we thank Mr. Bishop for broadcasting this game and going through everything along those lines as well. But like you said, it's been a day of absolute blowout so far. The only close game, relatively, is the game, and we'll go possibly back in the PCC there with Lacrosse and with Hebron, because we did a lot of those games back in the day there as we go, but we're going back into home for a second there in the Porter County Conference as we got our clearance by one of the game changer people there, our buddy Pete Saki. Unfortunately, he's not playing this year because of his scholarship to Manchester, but we still got some familiar faces here with Tri Township and Hebron. What's your thoughts about going back into the PCC land for a second here, while we kind of wait on the other link to go to Chesterton and Lake Central?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, it's whatever's best for the broadcast. But I was just gonna say, I think one thing that is good for the broadcast, I think we should, just kind of go into games rather than have a multi-view, because I think the multi-view might be a little too much for fans at home. So yeah, I think just going into different games rather than having a multi-view would be a little bit easier on their eyes.
Absolutely. Like we are right now as we go back into Chesterton here as we go. And next
Yeah,
week
Josh.
we'll
And
have a producer.
yeah, and I was gonna say, here in Lake Central, I mean, somehow, some way, Lake Central has runners on the base paths, and not only that, they have them in scoring position. So, if Lake Central had any opportunity of, getting back into this ball game, it's right here, Josh.
It's right here. I mean, they're at the door here as Barrett's done a good job of taking them to the limit here, as that's going to be a strikeout there for Troy Barrett. Here in the fourth, 2 outs, runners at scoring position here, as this is an important spot here for freeism as we go.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, just the fourth inning, but kind of feels like it might be getting a little bit late here for Lake Central. So yeah, they got to at least muster up one here in this half inning.
At least one here as we go into it. Frysma swings and misses there as we go.
Number 0, Brecken Ramirez.
As I still got volume on the Hebron game as we go into it, as we'll go back into the multi-screen there as we go. But tomorrow we'll do kind of what Dusty Carrasco said there, as that was a good idea. But right now we'll kind of go into the different shapes here, because I just like how, and this is closer together there, folks. I'm just pointing out things almost like a podcast kind of thing here in the multi whatever, where it's more dark here in St. John, but it's light here in Hebron, even though they're about 30 minutes apart, roughly.
Yeah,
So,
Josh, and I think another thing, if you wanted to do the multi-view, I think you'd have to turn your camera because people don't really like seeing just a JR or a DC. So I think that'd be a little bit better.
yeah, I mean, we got to. Okay, we got to. So, but here we go, just sitting here, a couple bros on a baseball and softball day here on the game. We're going to be back here tomorrow, but right now we're looking at two good games here with Hebron on your side and then Lake Central game and Chesterton on mine. But we'll go into Hebron and Tri Township at the moment here in a second.
Yeah, Josh, and it was a big spot there for Lake Central that I mean we kind of missed, but at the same time, not really. But Lake Central was able to muster up one run, now 6-1. But it was Chesterton able to get out of that half inning.
Absolutely.
So now we come to Hebron and Tri Township, and for the folks at home, Josh, what are the records for these two squads?
Both kind of on the Mendoza line. I mean, below. Both kind of having rebuild years. Excuse me. Hebron at 5-3, and let's see where Tri Township is here. 1-4 as we go, and 0-5 game here as we go. 5 runs difference here as Hebron ahead of Tri Township at home, as Hobrand looking to keep that going here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, Hebron, being 5-3, just a really good record for this Hawks squad. Going up against the Tri Township Tiger squad that's not so fortunate on the record. So I mean, Hawks are favored heavily in this one, but Tri Township they could give them, a bit of a going for the money.
Yeah, a little bit. And that's going to be a home run there as Tiger goes yard there as we go into it, as we talked about it here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. At one point, the Hawks Nest was a regular thing here on Regan's Corner. And that's going to be a home run there as the Tigers. And one time, we were at Tri Township. So look at both our schools. So 5-2 here as we go into this different things, as we're just playing at this point and checking it out for tomorrow, and we'll come better prepared for you guys for tomorrow's slate and have the slate of the games that we're going to show. But right now, since Hebron and Tri Township's on, we'll do the best we can to broadcast this game. So that's going to be that's going to be a ball, as that one's just a bit inside, as it's very hard looking at this umpire where he's at. So, and that's going to be caught by a center fielder, and that's going to end that inning, as this is a home game for Tri Township, as their field was flooded today. But Hebron and Tri Township moved it to Hebron here at the Hawk's Nest, and we're going through that as we're going back into the game of the week here on Regan's Corner Sports Network for your bestie. What's your thoughts of watching a little bit of that Hebron game?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I believe it was 5-2 when we went into that. So two more runs for one of those squads, but I mean, it's kind of looking like it might be a game there in Tri Township. As yeah, I mean, upset might be brewing there in Tri Township.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was kind of getting into that point there as a base hit there for Chesterton by Zarnacki as we go, as Barrett looking to get on base here. But yeah, as that Fander home run there for Tri Township, making it a little interesting going into the seventh.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, a 5-4 score line. I mean, I think Tri Township is right there knocking on the door, and yeah, they could really get the upset. Like I said.
Absolutely. As we're going back into the Chesterton and Central game as we go. As Redmond struck out there. And you just call me Houdini at this moment as we go. As Prater stands in here as a change there as we watched the Tri Township Hebron game as Bar Bush here with 7 pitches so far here, as 6-1 game still here in St. John, Indiana, as a 2 strikes here on Redmond. Runner steals second here as we go into it, as Glassman got that base hit, excuse me, folks, earlier, and with the stolen base there as a strikeout from Redmond, as we talked about earlier. As I'm a little bit behind on the game changer. That's
Yeah,
2
Josh, and
swings
with the runner
there.
at first, it's Chesterton, getting another runner, on base, and I mean, it's been Chesterton just really converting on, a lot of these hits, and yeah, I mean, 6-1 scoreline, they're not satisfied with that, and they're trying to get some more runs here in this half inning.
Absolutely. As we got to refresh this as we go into it. As Lake Central
Yeah, Josh, and I mean, it's Chesterton, just really showing that they are a really good baseball team. Here today, I mean, 6-1. It's kind of like Chesterton is kind of flexing their muscles and just really putting it to them on this Lake Central field.
absolutely. There's 2 outs, 2 balls here, 1 strike here as the stream went a little bit awry there. Sorry, folks. As we put it, probably going to put a disclaimer tomorrow when we do the intro, as that's going to be a signal there for prior as he's going to drop right in front of Brower as we go into the swing of things there. As Prater with a base hit there, as Sarnacki 1 for 2 on the ball game. And we'll have a final score as a 10-run rule there in New Prairie, in New Carlisle, as the Cougars win. And the bear of the game is most likely going to be Sully Cross with Reed Robinson.
Yeah, Josh, it was silly
But
crust
nonetheless,
just really putting it to that Wildcats lineup there on the mound, and he also had a couple of hits there in that one, and he was really kind of just doing it both in both departments.
absolutely. And Sarnacki here as we go gets a base hit as Rom. That's probably one of my favorite interviews for media days here as these Trojans here. They rank up with the Cougars in New Prairie uh, as just fun-loving guys as we go. As 6-1 here. And 16-0 here for New Prairie on their dub as we go back into things.
Yeah, Josh, and
And
we
that's going
kind
to
of
be
thought
a
that
track
New
there.
Prairie was going to get maybe 20, 30 runs. They did not, but 16 is nothing to sneeze about. And yeah, I mean, they just really put it to the Wildcats. A really good dub there on that field for them today, and they really deserved it here today.
Absolutely. So we saw a little bit of that as well. We kind of gone through the different games and different long lines. Tomorrow is going to be more of a podcast theme to it because we kind of figured out what our niche is during these games here on whatever. It's not really a traditional broadcast, but Sarnecki here coming down the train here, the Kentucky commit. We'll have different interviews downloaded for you guys at home for different games and different things. But between innings, so you have some other entertainment than just listening to us. But hey, we're good at broadcasters as it gets around this area. But nonetheless, we thank Mr. Wade for Lake Central for streaming the game for Lake Central so we can broadcast this. So Barrett against Barbush here as we go. A 6-1 here. As we go back into the multi-view here. As 5-2 ball game there in Hebron. Now it's going to be a play at the plate as that's going to be close, but no cigar for Lake Central as we go into it. 7-1 as we go back into it after that base hit from Barrett. What's your thoughts on that lineup there for the Trojans?
Yeah, Josh, it's been Chesterton all day, and I mean they continue to pile it on as 7-1 scoreline. I mean they've been really putting it to the Indians.
Yeah, they have. McCollum sits here as we go into it. Takes second there as Eli. Swings and a miss. Nope. JK, guys. April Fools, nonetheless, since we're almost at May, as we go into it. McCollum is 1 for 2 here with an RBI. Couple RBIs does work. Because that one's just a bit outside, as that's going to be a walk. As there might be a couple run swing here for you guys at home. As another pitching change here on the horizon, we'll go switching the game to Hebron here on Oregon Score Sports Network. As the Hawks get another run here for insurance purposes. What's your thoughts here watching a little bit of this Tri-Township and Hebron game, Dusty?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, it's been Hebron really doing the damage here. As yeah, I mean, Tri Township trying to put up a fight, but it's kind of late here in this ball game, and it kind of feels like Hebron probably most likely going to take it.
Absolutely. That one just a little high there as a 6-2 ball game here. Just looking at games that we could do tomorrow as we go on to this. That one just a bit inside. Almost hits him on that one, as that's going to be a 6-2 as we go into it. Here in Hebron. That one just a bit inside as Daly at the plate here, Ethan. As Mulhurden on the mound there as we go. We apologize if I'm butchering that name, but we haven't been in the PCC in a long time, as that's going to be a strike there as we go. 6-2 here. As we're watching on Game Changer here as the game. And that's going to be a strikeout looking as he gets out there, as that's going to be a key strikeout to keep it within 4 for the home team on the scoreboard. And Hebron has advantage being it's their home field. What's your thoughts there, Dusty? Do I keep it at this game, or do we go back to Lake Central Chesterton?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, this one's just about wrapped up. You might want to go back to Lake Central and Chesterton. I mean, that one's also kind of out of reach, but I think Lake Central has a little bit more chance there in that one than Tri Township does there in that game.
Absolutely. We're kind of saying that because of the firepower of the lineup of Lake Central. We're kind of waiting for it to get going, but Barrett has done an amazing job on the mound of not allowing Lake Central to do so. And we're waiting for the score and the update for the Glen game, as that one's still going on, that we believe, but they have not done the score, so we can't go back to it on the play there as we go. Another duel in action. Crown Point beats Valpo. Are you sitting down for this one, Dusty? 11-0 there, as it's been a blowout kind of day here on a Tuesday, on a Taco Tuesday day.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I think most of these matchups have been mismatches, but this one here has been a bit of surpriser, as Lake Central. They were supposed to kind of make this a game, but yeah, it's been all Chesterton, and they have really been just I don't know. They've just been getting runners on base. They've been able to score runners as well, and so they've been really doing everything right in this game.
Absolutely. As I am walking around my house right now, checking on the dogs as we go into as we go in to the game. Okay. Everything's good here as we go. As Barrett still on the mound for Chesterton. And those skies do look gleaming here in Lake Central. Fortunately, they have turf there, that's going to be a ground out for the Indians. As we're going to refresh that as a little score update as Chesterton's softball team beats Michigan City by 22 runs. And as we go into the later stages of that Tri-Township and Hebron game, Hebron comes out there 6-2 with another win. So what's your thoughts there, Dusty Road? Dusty there as we go.
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I think Hebron really has that game in hand. Um, and I mean, being on the road, it can be tough, but when you have a squad as you do, it can be a little bit better of a game. And yeah, I mean, Hebron's just been really having a good game. 6-2, and trying to close that one out there. And Chesterton here, kind of the same similar way. It's a 7-1. They've been having a really good game and just really trying to close things out here.
Absolutely. To make momentum here as we go and stay perfect here in the conference. As Crown Point does the same there. Uh, actually, as Crown Point wins another one against Portage, which was probably the best game in the Duneland today, with the 3-2 game there. But coming in, like you said, this was by far the marquee matchup, as that's just a bit outside there, as Barrett has been dealing so far. Absolutely shot calling here as he puts them in a hand basket as we go into it, as Crown Point softball team wins as well with 11-0 against the Vikings of Valparaiso as we go into this pitch, and it is right on the outside corner there. And folks, these 2 days, if you have not catched on, we are not having the count here on it. We're going to do our best to do a radio portion of that for you guys when we're in the actual full screen. As Barrett gets out of that inning, we'll go into the top of the sixth here as the Trojans lead by 6 at Lake Central. What's your thoughts of the games have you seen so far? Which one do you think is probably the best game we've had so far there, Dusty?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to pick from because they've all been, crazy blowouts. But if I'd have to pick, I mean, it'd be this one right here because Lake Central has, had some opportunities, just not able to squander those opportunities. But yeah, they've had their chances, and they've been putting up a fight, more than other teams have.
Absolutely. As Kirkland standing in here, 1 for 3. 27 pitches so far here for Barbush. As second one swinging here as we go. Making it 28 here as I'm reading off of the game changer. There, folks at home. Josh Reagan and Dusty Carrasco on this multicast here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. Um, for you guys at home. Tomorrow, we're going to have a little bit more time to figure out different bits that we're going to do and stuff like that, as that one's just a bit outside. Almost like a Manning cast, as that one's outside as a strike there, and Barbush is going to hit Kirkland there as we go. As we refresh the broadcast here as we go into it. As Bradford stands in here after Kirkland gets hit by that pitch as a ball there. As Barbush starts off, Bradford, who's been over for today. Been a couple walks though, nonetheless. A second ball. As the catcher sits there and gets ready. As the SDH here as we go. Excuse me, folks. There's one walk, one strikeout, one run here. As that's going to be a strike there as he swings right through that is Bradford. That's 3 balls, 1 strike here on the count. Now it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Before it was 2-1 there as we go. As we're a little bit high in there, Dusty, as we go into it. As that's going to be a walk there as we go. As that was very tight there in the top of the 6th. As Glassman standing in here, the Glass Man, as we go. Or we can call him Big Glass. But nonetheless, Ethan looking to get some RBI chance here as we go. The perfect walk-up song for Ethan Glassman for either senior day or other times here would be the Stone Cold Breaking Glass. That would be perfect for him as we go into it. Because that's going to be a fly out. How tough would that be, Dusty? The Stone Cold Glass breaking for Glassman as a walk-up?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, that might be pretty good there for the young fella. As yeah, might be his play song or his song to play when he goes up.
Absolutely. As Stone Cold Steve Austin with WrestleMania 2 weeks ago with that glass breaking as we go, and Ethan Glassman, joke kind of going over some people's heads. So I explained it there as we go. That's going to be a base hit as the bases are now at a Bonds-like level here, um, with Prater standing in here, 1 for 3 here, as Chesterton looking to do some more damage here. As a pitch here, and that's going to be fouled off there as Prater has power. We saw it against Laporte, couple warning track outs as the young infielder trying to get on base here, get into scoring position, and a couple RBIs as he is sitting in an RBI paradise or nightmare here as we go with 1 out with bases full, force on every bag. And that's going to be 2 strikes, 0 balls, and 1 out here. And as Prater steps in the bucket there as we go. That's going to be a strike there as we go into it as 2 strikes. 1 out here, and the bases are loaded here as Barber Barb Bush trying to get himself out of trouble here in Lake Central and St. John. That's not going to do it, as that's going to be a run. Go into it as a pitch almost hits. We go as Kirkland sends in a run. There as we go, making it almost as easy as Sunday morning as runners on the corners there for Prater as Redmond steals second to the play here as it's 8-1 with 2-2 on the count. As it's a little jumpy here, a little cutty. We apologize, folks, as we go into it.
Yeah, Josh,
Again, second
and
party, always kind of like
I might have to refresh here. I think I might have did something, so I'll be right back.
absolutely. As a strikeout there as we go, as Barb Bush got him there as we go into the swing of things as Zarnecki here on the play here. As Dusty Carrasco refreshing the stream. As Zarnecki here. 2 for 3. Making a case for that lineup of the night honors again, as that one's just a high, a little inside there as we go. For ball 2 here as a dangerous hitter as we go into it with runners in scoring position with 2 outs. As Barbush didn't get so much out of it of this inning, but nonetheless, 2 runs have scored. And he's trying to get out of it with at least a 7-run deficit. Where Zarnecki trying to put it away here. Maybe closing time if they can rally here in second, 6th. Has 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. As Bar push here as we go. 48 pitches on the day on this stream. As the bases are now loaded here after get Zarnicki as Barrett standing in here. Sir Dusty. The 1-1 count here as we go into it. Barrett staying alive here with a foul ball as we go. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Barrett's 1 for 2 so far with a couple walks and a hit. So that's going to be fouled off once again there, staying alive there.
Okay, that's a really good shot of me. It's yeah, it's cool.
As Barrett there as we go. Dusty, what's your thoughts there as Barrett flies out there?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, I think Chesterton is really trying to wrap this game up. It's like Lake Central. I mean, they had a fighting chance coming into this one, but after the first inning started, it was kind of like Chesterton was like, "Hey, we're one of the best teams in the state, and we're gonna show you." So, yeah, they've just really been able to, really assert domination here today, and yeah, they've just been kind of, yeah, putting it to the Lake Central Indians here on their home field.
Absolutely. As Glassman on the offensive side is our player of the game so far with 2 hits and 3 RBIs. Sarnacki not that far behind him with 3 bats, 2 hits, and no RBIs, but he's been absolutely that Dexter Fowler of their lineup. Here, there go, he goes kind of mentality there as we go, as a timetable, the time man and Sarnacki as we go into it. Sarnacki. But anyway, we go into the bottom of the 6th here. As this game seems like it's been forever as we go into it, but nonetheless, as those dark skies go into Lake Central here, you can see the video a little choppy here. Um, Again, we apologize. We can't do much about it because we can't control it there at Lake Central. But we appreciate the video from Game Changer that we can do this with. And just broadcast different games around the region, and go from there and attempt to do this. Uh, Going into it, we know better now on different things and how to go through everything. So Is this ball going to be down here? And we're going to start in the bottom of the sixth. If you're watching now, as Josh Reagan and Dusty Carrasco on the call as the game in the Tippecanoe Valley is over there. Still don't know what the score is. Nonetheless, we'll go back here as we go into it. So that's going to be a base hit there for Lake Central.
Yeah, Josh, it's gonna be a home run, I think. Yeah, as they're trotting around the bases.
That's going to be a home run.
Oh my
As
goodness.
that's going to
Okay.
be a three-run
Yeah,
two-run jack there as we go.
yeah, Josh, and just when you say die, like Central said, hey, we're not done yet. I mean, they got a lot left to go, but 8-3 ball game now, and yeah, I mean, they have some kind of life.
Some kind of life there after that three-run home run as we go.
Yeah, Josh, and for the folks at home, is it the fifth or the sixth inning here?
It is the sixth inning. 0 out so far here as Campbell on the mound in relief at the moment.
Yeah, so final 6 outs
7
here for
pitches
Lake
so far here.
Central, and yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to really dig in here. I mean, a two-run shot, but they need plenty more to even catch up to this Chesterton team.
Absolutely. As we got a refresh there as we go. As a pitching change here for the Trojans.
Yeah, Josh, and what a day Troy Barrett had, but guess nothing left in the tank. Only allowed three, but yeah, he will be taken out shortly after that two-run shot.
Absolutely. I don't even know if he allowed three as Campbell allowed the three there as Campbell come as there was even a pitching change in this half inning as we go as it took Barrett out last inning.
Oh wow! So yeah, it was Barrett having a clean zero on the board, and yeah, it was Campbell giving up the 3 runs there, and yeah, now Lake Central looking to really get into this bullpen of Chesterton.
Absolutely. As he takes a look there as we go into it. And a swing and a miss. As a stolen base there as we go.
Yeah, not keeping a good eye on the runner there and able to steal second base fairly easily. So now another runner here in scoring position.
Hello. As we go into it. As that one just a bit inside. Yeah.
He's on the game, let's see. He's in the back room on the game.
As we go into it. As a swing and a miss there as we go. As a 2-1 count here. As that strike there after that swing and a miss. As if this game changer would load up as it seemed like the same batter forever here in this plate appearance. As that one just a bit outside as number 2 there for the Trojans. On the mound there as we go. As the work there for the Trojans so far, 5 innings there for Barrett, 1 run, 10 Ks, and Campbell giving up 2 runs there, 2 hits. And Glassman there is most likely the game of whatever as we go into here on the stream here as we go. Runner on second. Is that one fouled back there, Dusty? What's your thoughts here as we go into the 7th here or still here in the 6th?
Yeah, Josh. I mean, Lake Central trying to brew something up here in the 6th. I mean, it was kind of looking dire there for the Indians, but they have something going. And just as I say that, they get a strikeout there. So that is, I believe, the first out of the inning, but I mean, they still have the pressure on.
Yeah, I mean, they still have the pressure on here. A 2-run home run in this inning, moving the score down to 5 here as we go, as Brower is due for a hit here, as he's been 0 for 2 here. To it, 9 pitches here for number 2 here. I'm only reading what I've seen here on Game Changer. So, folks, there, do not come at me. I'm just looking at the Game Changer as we go into it. But here we go. 10th. 2 balls here, 0 strikes here as number 2 here. As Breyer looking here, 0-2, 11 as 3-0 pitch here. And a strike there, finding the zone on that one as we go. As 3-1 here. 11 pitches here, so 12 pitches after that one. As we go into it. Back here as we go into it, as that one grounds out here. Moving the runner to third base here as we go. There, Dusty, as we go into it on that fly out and that checkup. What's your thoughts here as a 3-2 here with 2 outs?
Yeah, I mean, it's a productive out, at that, but I mean, just you kind of needed something else as now it's 2 outs. I mean, you do have a runner at third, but it is a 5-run deficit, and you kind of needed something to fall there and was not able to. So, with 1 out left here in the um, half inning of the sixth, yeah, I mean, it's looking dire once again there for Lake Central, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, looking dire there as we go, as we're almost in 1 inning of left in play here, as the Trojans looking very good here at the moment, but the pressure is on the Indians here as an 0-2 count here to Fireman as we go. As that one take for a ball there as Friesma. Friesma stands in here as we go. As an 8-3 ball game, 18 pitches here as a 2-2 count here as we go into tonight's game here on RCSPN or on the game podcast as we go in this multi-screen game. New Prairie has already won. Now we're just looking to have another W on the scoreboard here, and we'll wait for Glenn to sweep on our games there. As that ball gets passed, and Lake Central is going to score once again here as that throw is high from the catcher to the pitcher there as we go. As now it's an 8-4 ball game. Now it's starting to get a little interesting there, Dusty, with 1 inning to play.
Yeah, Josh. I mean,
And
they
this
have
game's starting to kind of
scored 4 runs here in this half of the inning, but yeah, I mean, it's it's still been Chesterton all day in this one, and I mean it's with 1 out left here in the sixth inning. I mean it's still you're gonna have 3 outs left after this out, so still 4-run deficit. They still have tons of work to do.
absolutely there as we go into the game here as that one just a bit inside. As Michaelos just takes that one as we go. He's been 0 for 2 here for tonight's ball game so far here as Ryan Michaelos. Don't know what the stats were the regular season as Lake Central was kind of keeping that um, hidden as we go. As number two here with 21 pitches here. And one count here, 22 pitches here as Michaelis here takes inside, but that is right three as he is gone on the play there as we go. There, Dusty, and we'll go into the bottom or the top of the seventh.
Yeah, Josh, it was Lake Central, fighting back, but I mean, Chesterton was able to kind of stop the bleeding themselves, and I mean now it's 8-4, and yeah, it's gonna be 3 outs left. After this half of the inning for Lake Central to try and tie this ball game up at 8.
But first, Chesterton's got that Lake Central was starting to kind of hit Chesterton a little bit, starting to see the pitches starting to go through, and kind of diagnose different uh, off speed that they were trying to throw at him and everything along those lines. Um, where before they can kind of coast and kind of go through everything. Now it's kind of they're seeing more and more. But 8-4 ball game, plenty of game left here as we go into the bottom. As the sunshine's starting to kind of creep up there in St. John, as it's been a very cloudy day there, uh, as what we've seen so far. As we're with you guys at home, as it's been a little bit in and out for our broadcast here in at home. It's very tough and go this watch what you see here as we go into the thick of things here as it is closing time. Three eye blind kind of mindset that both these teams have to have there for you guys at home. We may call them takes there as we go. There's a 2-1 count here as we go into the thick of things. Has another pitching change here for Lake Central as Villegas as we go into it, as we go in Villegas as we go. But that name, I wonder if he brings this gas here as we go. As that one was straight cheese on that one with that fastball as strikes out McCollum. As I am refreshing the game changer here as Hackett stands in here, 1 for 3 after the strikeout. This has turned into more of a radio broadcast here on Regan Score Sports Network than we intended, but nonetheless, we're trying to make it work here in this multi-stream game as we will do it again tomorrow. We'll list the games for you guys at home for watching that's available throughout this stream. This Chesterton game and Lake Central will be most likely primaried again tomorrow, but that's going to be Hackett here as a 1, as Villegas. Finds the inside corner there as Villegas as we go. They're dusty with the gas prices. I mean, it's going to be very hard for us to fill gas anymore, as usually it's about around $4 or $5 a gallon here. One of the reasons why we did not travel to Lake Station tonight or Lake Central as we go, as that's going to be a ball on that one as a 1-2 count there. But Villegas to Hackett as we go into it. What kind of life hacks do you have there as a the gas prices go up, especially when you have this kind of matchup as Phil Gas and Hackett, as Hackett grounds out to Phil Gas as we go.
Yeah, Josh, I think
As the
gas
infield
prices are
single
always
there
going to
as
go
we
up
go.
and down, but you got to kind of work with it. I mean, it's kind of part of our economy, and I mean, you just got to really work with it. I mean, if not, you're going to be on foot, or it's just so you got to just really work with it um, to really like make it work.
Absolutely. And Caden got some life hacks there with a with the infield base hit there as we go. As Phil Gas with one out here. As that ball is going to be as everyone's safe there, as nobody played there as we go. As Kirkland with an infield base hit, just getting it past. As runners on first and second there for Bradford, as Bradford's due for a base hit there. Dusty with 0 for 2 here, as Phil Gas with 11, uh, 11 pitches here. As that one just a bit inside as we go, as Phil Gas, as we go. Uh, absolutely, but Dusty, I am absolutely probably butchering this name, but the way it's spelled, this is what I'm going with. Phil Gas as we go. That one just a bit outside as we go.
Yeah, Josh,
As
and it's
two
crazy to
balls,
see, but
zero
Chesterton
strikes.
is still trying to get runs here in the top of the seventh as they got two runners on, and they've been, really trying to add to this score line. And yeah, I mean, I feel like if Chesterton's able to get at least a run in this half inning, I think it's going to be over.
Yeah, I mean they should, and it should be as it's a 3-0 count here as we go. As Bradford walks here, the bases loaded here
Oh my
with
goodness.
Glass Man standing in here.
Yeah, Josh. Now
As Phil
bases
Gas
loaded.
is
I mean, this is the
running out of the
last
pump
thing
as we
you
go.
wanted if you're Lake Central.
Absolutely. As Phil Gas is not, he's running out of gas here as we go into it. As bases loaded, Glassman's up here. As this could be very much a danger like moment here. He might need his Maverick here to kind of get him out of the danger zone here as we go. As that one's just a bit inside here as we go into it. That's going to be another RBI there for Glassman as we go into it, depending on how that is scored. But that's going to be a hard play for any third baseman right there as that line drive there. As that one is a seeing eye signal there, as that's going to be 9-4 as they get an port insurance run, and they're still having Phil Gas in a pickle here as we go. Is that ball just a bit outside there as we go? 1 ball, 0 strikes here to Redmond as Nate.
Yeah, Josh. Still bases loaded here for Chesterton. Now 9-4. I mean, they're looking to just put this one away as Lake Central was creeping up there in the sixth inning. But now, I mean, here in the seventh, it's just Chesterton trying to really put this one away.
Yeah, they're absolutely trying to put this way, and they should as we go into this. As that one fouled off here as we go, as he's staying alive there. Like my broadcast partner said, Chesterton's trying to get some insurance runs here to kind of padding up what you saw last inning, as that one's just a bit outside.
Yeah, and I mean, Lake Central, they finally got things going, but is it too late there, Josh? I mean, it's just, it's been all Cheston in this one, and I mean they continue to pile it on. I mean, I guess it's 10-4. I mean, I thought it was 9-4, but 10-4 now, and that is an insane scoreline.
as they walk in or run here as we go into it. So, Dusty, you're not totally on there, as there was just a little bit ahead of time there, as we're a
Yes, I
little
guess the
behind on the
scoreboard a little ahead of the
broadcast. As
game. So, I mean, that's another thing unfortunate about Game Changer. But yeah, I mean, predicting the future for the audience at home, and so now 10-4 scoreline. I mean, a meeting on the mound, and I mean, at this point, you're just really trying to get these three outs because I mean, you really don't want to, let this turn into a laugher because you still have a good record on the season, and you don't want to let this turn into a landslide, right, Josh?
another blowout for another day here. You don't want it to be a day of blowouts like it has been for Lake Central. You want to get out of this inning any force possible here before you get the top of the inning here, as Prater, it's nothing to sneeze at here at the plate, but you definitely do not want Sarnicki with one out with the bases loaded. Phil Gass has got to step up here as we go, as that's going to be a strike one there. As a swing and a miss, as Prater right on it, fouls it off, and the catcher's mitt there as we go. This has turned into more of a radio broadcast here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. So that one fouled back there as we are trying our best to keep the picture here for you guys, as it's going to be a little bit spotty, and it's most likely going to be a little spotty tomorrow too. So it's more of a radio broadcast, and it's multi stat cast as we go into it. Nonetheless, that's going to be just a bit outside, as Prater 1 for 4 here, and 24 pitches so far in this inning here for Phil Gass as we go. And that's going to be a strikeout. That's a much needed strikeout there, as Sarnicki still the bases loaded there as we go into play. 10-4 ball game here. As Zarnacki looking to do some damage here, as the Cubs game right on the horizon. As Sarnacki takes as a 2-for-3 ball game. 7th inning, bases are juiced. 10-4 ball game here in St. John, Indiana. Me and Dusty Crasco remotely broadcasting this game, radio broadcasting at this point, as it's so spotty as we go into it. We thank you nonetheless for Lake Central for allowing us to broadcast this, but nonetheless, 2-0 here, as that's going to be a huge swing of the bat there, as that's going to be a couple RBIs there for Sarnacki, as he's going to score there. 3 on that double, as a 3 RBI day there for Sarnacki here, as Rob Sarnacki puts it away here. And as it is now a 13-4 ball game here in St. John's. With 2 outs here, as Barrett looking to put down his mate here and make it a 10-run ball game here in St. John's. As we go, as Phil Gass here as we go has been struggling here at the pump as we go. And that's going to be a strike there as it finds it in the inside corner there, as Barrett. And that ball is going to be swing there. as a 1-1. That's 2-0 count here as we go. As Barrett swings right through that one. That's 2 strikes. With 2 outs here and the runner on second and Zarnacki. And that ball fouled back there as Barrett staying alive here at the 0-2 count. As this is just on game changer. As to do some damage. And that ball is just a bit outside there as we go. As Barrett working the count back as a 1-2 count. As a 2-2 count, excuse me, folks, as we go into it. As that one's just a bit inside, I guess that's the second ball as we go into it. As a little Houdini act. Trying to time the broadcast here with the game changer as we go as Phil Gas. As Barrett fouls that one off once again, staying alive, having a BG tune stuck in his head as the 2-2 count here going. That's 13-4 here. As the sun sign sets here in St. John. The clouds making it kind of a gloomy but nice day here as that one just been outside. As the sun coming out of the clouds here for the sunset, as the lights coming on quickly as a 3-2 count here. That ball is going to be a ground out there as Barrett gets put away, and we'll go into the top of the seventh here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. We thank both athletic departments for allowing us to do this game and the other athletic departments for having Game Changer on here so we can do the multicast as we go into it. Multicast is sponsored. Our sponsors are Tolman Financial, Showcase Recruitment by Circle Sports, Freeman Associates, and Play It Again Maryville, the one-stop shop for recycling and getting paid for your athletic equipment, and also a retail shop for athletic department. Go see Play It Again in Maryville for any equipment for sports, hockey through baseball. Nonetheless, let's get it rocking here as number 2 looking to close it out as Phil Gass here looking to jumpstart the offense here in the bottom or top. Yes, the bottom of the seventh here as we go into it. Sorry, folks. It's been a while since I've done a route broadcast. We don't do it that often because I really don't like them. Nonetheless, this is what we're dealt. That's Phil Gas here. Stu, ready, fire. Missing there as we go into it. Has one ball here. There's a 3-0 count here to Phil Gas. As we like to say, thank you to Mr. Walls here for broadcasting the Lake Central game on their game changer so we can restream the game as we go into it. There's 27 pitches here. As a strike there, as Chesterton with a strike there. 3-1 on the play here as Phil Gas is 1 for 2. And a swing and a miss as he swings right through that one, making the count full after a powerful swing. But Lake Central probably just needs base runners at the moment here as we go into things.
Yeah, and Chesterton kind of cemented this
That
win
one's
here today. Getting 5 more runs there in the top of the seventh. I mean, Lake Central really had a shot if they would have kept them at 8, but 13-4 here in the seventh, Josh. I mean, it's kind of closing time here in Lake Central.
yeah, I mean, 3-eye blind with mindset right now as we go. As closing time. If I actually knew the song, I'd probably be singing
It's
it
a really
right
good
now as
song
we
there,
go
Josh.
into it. As that really good song. As he fouls that off, as Phil Gass saying, pump the brakes there, even though it's a 9-run ball game here as we go. As that one's just a bit inside as a leadoff walk here as we go into it. And that's what Lake Central needed there, as that was a much needed walk there to start the timetable here. As for Chesterton, you wanna have a double play here as we go into it. Um, so that's going to be a strike there. As O'Brien hitting so far here as we go into it. That one's just a bit outside. It's a 13-4 ball game. It's 2 balls, 1 strike here as we go into it. That's going to be a swing. There's O'Brien here as we go into it. And a strikeout there. As a great strikeout there from number 2. As O'Brien sits down and he go.
Yeah, Josh, and that's a crucial out here for Chesterton as they try to get through this ball game.
Absolutely. As a mound visit here, as probably going to see Sarnecki here to close the last 2 here. Cue the corn music here. Like, are you ready? Even though it's at Lake Central as we go into it.
Yeah, Josh, and
Little
another
Mason.
thing that might help tomorrow, maybe if you can put the outs, the balls, and the strikes there um on the layout. I think that could help as well.
I could. But I'll also send you a link to the game changer too, so I could help you a little bit as well.
I mean, it's just for the
Because there's
folks at home. I think they
limited.
would appreciate it. It's not even really for me. I think it's for the folks at home because I mean, seeing a scoreboard like this without the outs, balls, and strikes, you know, it's not as appealing.
Absolutely. Nonetheless, we're just trying to get it out there as we go into it. as we're figuring out the layouts and the new systems and all this, we can kind of go through everything here as we go into the different formats. As
Yeah,
Mr.
Josh, and this is a
Costco is
crazy pitching
absolutely
change
correct
here
there.
in the ball game. I mean, bottom of the seventh, you already got it out. You have a 9-run lead, and you have a pitching change. I mean, I really don't understand it, other than maybe trying to give a pitcher some reps. I'm like, it's not really what you really see here in a 13-4 ball game, right?
Yeah, but honestly, it might be a perfect time to get somebody reps that you haven't seen that much working, and uh, where the game's not this high leverage because you don't know the pitch count that you're going to have tomorrow at Chesterton. So you don't really want to use somebody that the game's out of reach
Yeah, and also,
because
Josh, I
you're
mean,
going to
is
use
there
them
a
through.
game audio for this game? I mean, I think that would be another thing that would help out the broadcast.
There is game audio as we go, as it's on, but it's not on because of the music and stuff like that. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, because that's another thing that kind of takes away the aspect of a real baseball game.
yeah, it depends on what Lake Central's doing at the time. If they're gonna whatever, it's out of my control at that point. Since I'm not controlling it,
Exactly.
so as we go into it, so Thursday we'll be back in control fully with a traditional broadcast, but nonetheless, these 2 days, we're going to be on the seat or pants here as we go. And Robinson here, 1 for 2, and that one's going to skip back here as we go into it. Our broadcast partner is doing a silent scoreboard here for this game as we go in region. Shout out to them. Um, but we're trying to do the whole shebang here with the multi whatever. And we're going into it as a 3-1 here as runners on second there as we go. That ball is going to be driven there.
Yeah, for a double
And
up the
that's going
middle,
to be
Josh, and I mean, it's such an insurmountable lead, but they do get a run here. They get one back, and it's 13-5.
it's 13-5 here as we go into things.
Yeah, it's
As we'll try
Robinson
doing the
trading positions with the other runner, but yeah, I mean, it's Robinson delivering here late in the seventh.
absolutely as that was a key hit there as we go into it 13-5 here as I went just a bit outside.
Yeah, it's number 5 delivers, and that's a strike there. So 1-1 count on Walls. Yeah, Josh, Walls 1 for 3 in this game. I think it's been kind of tough for him here in this ball game, but he does have a hit, so he could get another hit here to keep things going.
Absolutely 1 for 3 here as we go. And he fouls that one off. His count goes 2-1 here.
Yeah, Josh Smith's going to be 1-2 there. We got 1 ball, 2 strikes, and an out. So I mean, it's getting to that time here for Lake Central.
Yeah, getting the closing time here as we go with 1 out here, 2 strikes, 1 ball. As we'll have more graphics up here tomorrow for it, as that one's going to be a ball once again here. As he fouls that one off, saying a 2-2 count here as we go.
Yeah, Josh, and now there's a ball to make it a full count. I mean, it's kind of crazy. We got a full count here. I guess the broadcast a little
Just
bit
a bit
behind, right?
inside there as we go. A little bit behind there as we go into it.
Yeah, about 1 pitch behind. Not too bad.
Not too shabby. A little fuzzy on Facebook and YouTube, but nonetheless, like we said, it was more of a radio broadcast at this point in time, and tomorrow is probably the same thing. A little practicing for maybe sectionals if we do it for you guys at home. Just happened to be that way with the time commitment that
So that's how you knew it was a walk.
this does
Okay,
take.
I thought you were actually Houdini because I'm Houdini too. I bet you this guy's gonna get hit by the pitch. Watch, check this out.
Absolutely.
And there it
So,
is.
as our
Wow.
broadcast partner finally gets the hint there to watch the game changer while we're watching
No, but
the
it's just
game
crazy
changer.
that you like. I
Uh,
thought you were actually Houdini and you were not. So I mean, I was getting all that credit. And I was
no,
like, oh my god, he actually predicted that, but you didn't. So it's kind of tough.
I didn't.
Kind of tough for you, Josh.
As Dusty Carrasco trying to make me feel humble here as we go, but we know my skills
Oh
on
yeah.
a daily basis. Okay, as we go into it, 1 and 2 on a 3 on a 4 as we go here as 1 out here with 1 ball as we go into it here as a 8-run ball game here on the game as we go into the 7th here as we go into this
Here we go.
pitch
Yeah, Josh. Now runners at
as that
first and
ball is going to be
second
cranked.
is Tech trying to, keep things going here. And yeah, this is uh, not going to be what Lake Central wanted, but yeah, there's the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a what you see from a dueling, though. I mean, you come into tonight thinking this is probably the game of the week, and then tomorrow it might be flipped, just because that's how close the dueling is. Especially with Troy using his pitches here in Lake Central. Different ball game possibly in Chesterton tomorrow, but nonetheless, 14 pitches here for number 5, as that's going to be 15 after the ball. And the ball gets away there, and the runners get into there. And like Dusty said, I am not Houdini because I'm also watching it on a separate game changer on my phone
So he was
as we go
cheating.
into it.
He was cheating the whole time.
I will admit that. I was cheating the whole time, and I'll be cheating again tomorrow. As 2 balls, 0 strikes here with 2 on here in a money position here as second and third
So
here
this is a
on
test you could cheat
Regan's
on,
corner.
right?
As yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
as long as
It's not frowned upon.
the kids as long as the kids aren't cheating on their papers or anything like that, we can do it as broadcasters when we're looking at different sports here as we go. It's very hard to kind of not do it though. As we go, number 5 there is number 16 pitches here as we go into it. 2 balls after that pass ball. As that one is going to be a strike there as we go. I believe. And right now, I can't do it because the game changer is frozen for me as we go on the phone.
Yeah.
Nonetheless,
It's gonna
here,
be hit by
Dusty,
pitch, Josh. So
based
bases loaded here for Lake Central. My God.
absolutely. As bases are loaded here as
Yeah, Josh is Brower
Browser
though. I
here.
mean, he is 0 for 3, but he can do something here. If you want any late drama, here it is. Bases loaded with
Absolutely, as
the number 4 hitter coming
a
up.
mountain visit.
Yeah, Joshua Will needed mound visit for sure.
Absolutely, as we need a mountain visit as well because the thing is buffering once again.
Yeah, we'd love to buffer in there, Josh.
There, Dusty. Can't have anything nice there as we go 15-13 as we go into it.
Right?
But nonetheless, as we go into it, hopefully tomorrow's a little bit better. Uh, but nonetheless,
Yeah, and if it's in
we are in the
Chesterton there,
middle of
Josh, it
nowhere
should be
here.
a lot better, I believe.
Actually, yeah. Hopefully, as Zarnicki on the mound here. We saw Rob a little bit against Laporte there. Rob will come in with a high 80s fastball with probably around average of 86 to 87 there with a couple pitches with the slider and the change up to and a little bit of a curve, but he rarely throws the curve. More of the slider and the change to bounce it off with that fastball. That change around the late 70s. I mean, almost like that 7 show as we go with the speed as we go into it. Nikki looking to close this game out, which before this half inning, that would be a change weird statement to make after the insurance run, but the insurance run was covenant because if you didn't get that in the top of this inning, it is a 3-run ball game currently with runners on all bases with 2 outs. But with that insurance run, it is now an 8-point ball game as Arnecki throws it in just a bit outside.
Yeah, Josh, and that's why I was saying, it's so important for this Lake Central team to hold Chesterton to 0 runs there in the top of the 7th. As yeah, I mean, this should be in 5-8 ball game, but with those 5 runs there in the top of the 7th, yeah, I mean they're looking to put this away with 2 outs.
Absolutely. Is that one just a bit high there as we go? Has 2 balls, 0 strikes here as Zarnicki fires. Zarnacki here as we go. Let's go.
Yeah, Josh Zarnacki, one of the best pitchers on this roster, trying to close this one out.
As 3-1 here as we go into it. As
Yeah, 3-1 here,
Breyer,
Josh, and about to be 3-2.
as a pause here on the stream coming up. Apparently, they figured out that we're broadcasting off of it finally. Nonetheless, 3-2 as we go into
Yeah,
it.
Josh, and it's buffering. Oh my goodness! But I could just tell y'all at home, and wait, hold on, wait, wait a second, full count, and yeah, this one, this is the pitch right here.
This pitch right here.
Yeah, this is the suspense builds.
And that's the ball game.
There it is.
Finally, the Chesterton
Yep.
Trojans win the game there as we go into it. As I hope you guys have a good Trojan night here on Regan's Corner Sports Network. And we'll be back here for a multicast tomorrow. And we will have the full tournament on Saturday, actually at Chesterton live instead of doing a multicast. It was a fun one with Dusty tomorrow will be more of a podcast feel to it and a radio broadcast because the games were in and out, and I apologize, folks. But signing off here, Dusty, do you have any wisdom for the road?
Yeah, Josh, I think tomorrow will be better. Especially with these blowouts. There's bound to be, at least one good game there tomorrow. Maybe Lake Central and Chesterton, maybe actually have a really good game there between these two foes. And yeah, Josh, it was pretty decent broadcast here today, but yeah, tomorrow will be better for sure. I'm sure of it.
Absolutely. Same here, as we'll give both information to dual broadcasters there as we go into tomorrow's game. Signing off to Josh Reagan here as the CEO portion of Josh failed the broadcaster version of Josh tonight. So we'll have that information for both Dusty and Josh tomorrow, and we'll go from there.